Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
Grump, how are you? We have one day, our last day until Islanders regular season hockey takes place and the Islanders season's underway. How are you feeling, man? I'm in a spot where I am probably the most optimistic I'll be all year long. Probably will be today.
Oh, okay. Most optimistic yet. So you're counting on a poor season then. Is that correct?
Well, hey, my thoughts of everything can still go well still lives, Grumpy. I mean, hey, maybe if we start off with a 7-3 record or go 7-4 to start, maybe I'm singing a different tune, but we've got a pretty tough schedule to start the year. So this may be the most optimistic we are all season long, Grumpy.
Okay. I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see. I know you have a lineup of things you want to talk about. I don't want to jump the gun. But here's the thing. I want to make sure, because what happens with this podcast? What's one thing that people should do right away?
Well, yeah, I don't know why you're taking control of this, Grumpy. I'll do the reads. I'll do it, Grumpy. That's right. Grumpy, as he mentioned, this is a twice a week Islanders podcast for those of you who are new to the channel and new to this podcast. And we invite you to stick around a while. We invite you to subscribe on YouTube, to like on Facebook, and to follow on Twitter. Again, that's where you can go ahead and find this podcast that comes out every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Not this Saturday, though. Not this Saturday.
That's correct, Grumpy. We're not. I'm glad you reminded me. We're not going to have a podcast this Saturday. Dun dun dun. So we won't have a chance to talk about the Islanders' first game on Thursday. We'll have to save that up for next Wednesday. That's going to be odd. So yes, for those of you who
they should hit the like button and the subscribe button, right?
Yes, of course they should, Grumpy. They should hit the like button. They should subscribe. The like button apparently helps the algorithm. I don't know. That's what I've been told. That's what people tell me. So, you got to hit the like button. Apparently, it helps the algorithm. Also, we have another podcast where it's an all sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. It can be found in the link in the description below, or it can be found as a featured page here on our YouTube channel. You could say, TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. We talk all things sports on that show. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, European football, college football, anything and everything athletics we talk about on that show. So if you enjoy the content we put out here, you might I won't actually say not, I'm going to say more strongly. It's not you might enjoy the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man Show. I guarantee you'll enjoy the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man Show. So make sure to either check it out in the link in the description below, or to make sure to check it out here as a featured page on our YouTube channel.
Unless we don't get our stream taken down for excessive violence.
Yeah, we've had that before. Well, not even that. Sometimes we've had it taken down for all different things before, Grumpy. Excessive violence, or we've had it age restricted for excessive violence before. So it's not even that violent. It's just fan fights. And I'm pretty sure they were just love taps across the way. So it couldn't have been anything too crazy.
Okay.
Oh man. Yes, that being said, Grumpy, tomorrow NHL action for the Islanders returns back for the first regular season game. There's a few things I want to talk about now. There is a pump up video that was released on Twitter, Grumpy, and I did the favor of not watching it yet. And for those of you who are listening only in the audio capacity, I'm sorry to say this portion might not be as enthralling for you, but for the for the viewers of the show and people on the live stream, I feel like you'll enjoy this portion too. But there was a pump up video, Grumpy. I haven't watched it yet, but I know it's getting a lot of hype on Twitter. So I figured we could do something and watch it together. Wouldn't that be neat?
Okay. I haven't seen it either, so
New for both you and me, Grumpy.
Okay.
It's supposed to get us Islander fans pumped up for the upcoming season, Grumpy.
Do they have like a voiceover with Morgan Freeman or
the Islanders,
some big actor speaking over "Be an Islander fan" or whatever?
Who the hell? Hold on. Who is that? Whose voice are you trying to imitate right there, Grumpy?
Michael Myers. I don't know who.
Oh my gosh. No, I literally watched the first 5 seconds of this and I said, I'm hitting pause. I want to have the same reaction as you do watching this to see if I get pumped up, if I'm amped up and ready to go for the season or not, Grumpy. If that sways the momentum going into the year. If all the Islanders, all the current members of the roster watch this and get amped up to play a full 82 game season. But without further ado.
Little journey.
I was about to say.
What?
Bye, Barry.
Departing from the organization and Lane Lambert taking over as the head coach.
You hire a guy who has so much time and experience with Barry. Is it going to be any different?
Last year, kind of an anomaly, right? They had a 13-game road trip to start the season. Where do you put them this year?
I think they're going to be right back to where they were before.
The team in place is good enough to be better than they were last year.
This is my thing. They should be much, much better than they were last year.
The New York Islanders are poised to make a jump back in the playoffs.
The evaluation on this roster, I think, is that last year wasn't who they are. I think this is a playoff caliber team that can put something together.
Alexander Romanov is the New York Islanders.
The Islanders did it. The Islanders have re-signed Matthew Barzal.
Matthew Barzal is the marquee player for the New York Islanders.
Why the fuck was Bailey in there at the end? And Okposo.
Oh,
You put the 50 up there. You put the 50 for 50 years, which I'm like, okay, there should have probably been more of that. Why the frick is Okposo and Bailey the two players you want to put up there?
Hold on. Okay, Isles Territory makes this video, and I thought, that's a fantastic video. It's a great edit, Grumpy. I don't know what you think.
Oh.
I know you're gonna be angry that Bailey was at the end. Bailey. I get it. But man, that was a great edit. That was a fantastic edit.
You know, one thing I thought was, is Journey aware that they're using that song?
Who cares?
Well, because we've had things taken down for like that before.
No. Okay. You have no fucking idea what the hell you're talking about right now.
All
they do is they copyright things, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Did you like the video? Jesus Christ, it's like pulling fucking teeth with this guy. It's like pulling teeth with you. He was pulling teeth with you this morning or this before the show too, Grumpy.
I thought this was a New York Islanders produced hype video.
It's produced by Isles Territory, Grumpy.
Okay, so it's not the New York Islanders producing this.
Can I say
so
no SAS New York Islanders organization, SAS Isles Territory, Grumpy?
Was this
languages? I don't know how to speak Spanish, but I'll try my best. It's the Isles Territory. It's a Twitter page, Facebook, YouTube. I'm sure you're able to find them. Isles Territory.
So it's then it's fine. I thought
I
was expecting when you're saying a hype video, I'm expecting something from the organization putting out something to hype it up, and that's why I'm like, why is Barry Trotz even on there? I mean, in black and white, I'm like, I was confused. Now it makes sense. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I was looking at it through the lens. I was looking at it through the lens of the New York Islanders organization has released this video on their website. This is the hype video. That's what
when the hell did I ever say that? I said it's a hype video. I said we're going out on social media. I probably should have said at the beginning this was done by Isles Territory, but I loved it, man. I love that.
Okay, it was all right.
Well done, man. I thought it was really well done.
I came at it from a totally different perspective than you. I thought it was the Islanders themselves, the team, releasing this video, and I'm like, man, why is Trotz on there? Why are they using Journey? Because you couldn't just take yourself away from because the Islanders have they've got a little bit of a hype video as well that was released today. The Islanders have one also.
Correct.
That's the one I want to see. This is just a fan one, right?
Yeah, and I thought it was really well done. I saw the first 5 seconds and said, "Ooh, this could be good."
Like I said, I must have misunderstood what you were saying. I thought it was a team released video, and it wasn't. So I'm looking at it in a totally different lens.
Okay,
and I was confused.
I screwed the freaking pooch, and I wasn't accurate enough about who released the video. But I'll say it for the 17,000th time. Isles Territory came out with that video.
Maybe if I saw it again, I'd have a greater appreciation for it. But
you know what? That's a homework assignment I'm giving you, Grumpy. I'm not making everybody sit through that again.
No, I'm not saying everyone should. I just think, once again, you were not clear with, or maybe I just heard you wrong. I thought you said it was the Islanders hype video. I thought it's what you said. So I'm like,
hype video on the New York Islanders.
I'm like, and I'm looking at the 50 years. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Probably should have had a little bit more of that. And then the Barzal thing, which was at the end, it's like, man, this was going to only be like less than 2 minutes. Then thank God Barzal re-signed. They put that in there. And then they show the 50. And I'm like, okay, where is, pictures of Gillies, Bossy, Nystrom, Trottier, Bailey, and Okposo. That's an epic fail. So, whatever.
I guess if this was a peer-reviewed paper, I failed because I didn't come out there at the beginning when I was right. I just cited it at the bottom. I didn't say, and then I took this quote from Isles Territory. Yeah, it was good. I liked the video. For a fan-done one, Grumpy, I freaking enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah. But see, you weren't clear on that. So I'm looking at it like it's
we're battling this semantics bullshit of this.
No, it's not
we got Islanders hockey tomorrow. We're battling these semantics.
It's not semantics. You wanted this hype video that you hadn't seen yet. You said you hadn't seen it.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay.
I saw 5 seconds of it.
You saw 5 seconds. Okay.
And I like the first 5 seconds. I'm like, this is going to be good.
I was just like I said, I was baffled. I was like, okay, like Barry Trotz was like the dark times. You notice I was black and white, and then boom.
When you saw that, was that not like, oh, why are the
I'm like,
New York Islanders organization doing this? You didn't take 1 second to pause and say, this can't be the Islanders organization.
No, that's why I was thinking that. I'm like, why would the Islanders do something like this? And I refrained from saying anything until Bailey came on.
Okay.
I'm like, why the hell is Bailey on there for 50th year? That piece of shit should never be on. Okay, that video gets an F for hype because Bailey was on it.
Oh, everything else is good, but Bailey was on. Here's the thing. This video has more views than the Islanders video as of right now. The Islanders
I'm not surprised
official
at that.
video.
I want to see the Islanders one.
Okay.
Can we
Sorry,
watch the
so
Islanders one?
For those tuning into the show, usually we don't show hype videos or anything like that. I could show you the Islanders one, sure, Grumpy.
How long is that?
It's 1 minute and 15 seconds. And then we can go jump into the podcast again.
Okay.
All right. We're changing things up, I guess, today. I hope this is not a harbinger of what the season is going to look like for the Islanders, because it's going to be disjointed. It's going to be in a situation where we're freaking running around with a chicken with our head cut off and a lot of pointing fingers. So I hope this is not a harbinger to come for the Islanders season.
It really doesn't seem that long ago, October 7th, 1972.
I like this one better already.
Stepped onto the ice.
Yes.
And whatever personal success you have, well, that comes along with the team success.
The people of Long Island have really been tremendous to us.
The Islander fans are a step above anyone else.
Let's go, we're to win it, baby!
The history is rich in this organization. It's a really special place to be. It's a special place to live here on the island.
You know, our fans are the best in the NHL.
Average.
We got a loyal fan base, passionate fan base. Their passion for the team.
That guy.
It's just like one big family. I feel like everyone's kind of got each other's backs.
I'll be honest. I'm underwhelmed by that.
I thought that was infinitely better. The music wasn't as good. The music
plays a part in this, Grumpy.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. The other ones stole a copyrighted song to put over the top.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's why I said to the first one, like,
horse.
man, I would have been surprised if the Islanders would have come off the hip to pay Journey residuals for that. Other than that, the second video, the one by the Islanders with celebrating the 50 years of the organization. And you want to know who wasn't in that video?
Who?
Josh freaking Bailey.
Oh, God.
He was not part of it. That made it automatically better. Anders Lee brought it down a little bit, but I like the second one way better. I wish the music would have been a little bit more upbeat, but seeing the fans go crazy, that's a hype video. The first one, I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing.
Hey, let me tell you something.
They don't give two fucks about the fans. What do you get? Come on.
Here's the thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's the thing.
That's what we have to focus to. Not the history of the Islanders, but the fans. That's what we're focused on. Well, is it because we're not selling season tickets? Out of those 5,000 golden pucks, I see about 1 million of them listed on eBay. Here you go, season ticket holder for the 50th year anniversary, and everybody's selling them on eBay all over the place already.
All I'm going to say is we had the nice snippets of Mike Bossy talking, Brian Trottier talking about the fans, about Long Island. I thought it was excellent. The second was excellent. Right from the beginning, they're showing you they're celebrating their 50th year. That's what it should have been about. Not, Barry Trotz in black and white.
I thought it was going to told the story of the offseason. Barry Trotz gone. New head coach. Lots of questions. Are we going to have – they're answering this – they're asking and posing the same questions that pundits and us have asked all offseason long. I thought was more applicable. Better offseason video, the first one. The second one, stick it with a sun, don't show.
No, the second one, the video was much better. The music was better on the first one because Journey right now was more popular than Rachmaninoff or whoever that was who was, whatever they were playing, that classical type thing. Not as popular as Journey at this point in time. So maybe if they would have had the, Mannheim Steam or the Trans-Siberian Orchestra up there, or Mannheim Steamroller, have them do some music, with the dun, 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 that would have been better. But of course, you would have to pay for that. Okay.
I hope you understand. For those of you who are new to the show, welcome. This is TJ and Grumpy Old Man's media breakdown of the week. Because who would ever figured we'd be sharing our taste on pre-hype videos, man? If that doesn't tell you what the off seasons looked like, I don't know what does. But rosters I think are pretty much solidified. Cal Clutterbuck's still a little banged up. It looks like he probably will not be starting opening night. Mayfield, they anticipate to be healthy, ready to go. Shushkin, how do you pronounce his name? Shushkin? What is it?
Shushkin.
Shushkin. Well, we're not going to see much of him this year, but
too bad because he was one. Okay, I saw the lineups. I saw who made the team, and there was not one surprise, not one. And for me, okay, what does it say? What does it say?
What surprise were you expecting?
I was expecting to say, okay, this is our lines, and this is who's going to play. I just have a feeling we're going to see same old, and that's disappointing. I don't think is good enough. I want to see what Shushnikov, that's his name.
I couldn't remember his name without
like
looking.
I said, you butchered his name so bad,
Shushkin,
so bad that I lost my bearings. That's how bad you screwed up his name. I'm like, Nishushkin? Okay, whatever. You butchered his name. You didn't not only butcher the front, you butchered the back too. Why don't you just say Smithson? Why don't you just say that?
What's his first name?
Who cares?
I was going to say first name and last name
Dimitri?
S.
Isn't it Dimitri?
Dimitri S.
Dimitri S.
That'll be a little easier for me. Goodness gracious. So, when you look at the lineup, it's not a shock. We talked about this 3 weeks ago that Parise was going to be on the first line left wing with Matt Barzal. Bottom six winger going to be on the first line wing with Matt Barzal. We talked about it. Oh, you're crazy. I can't believe you spent an entire 2 and a half hour long podcast talking about Zach Parise going to play the first line. Don't even worry about that. Well, Zach Parise going to be the first line left wing,
and he's not he will not be up to the task. Just from what I saw in the preseason, no, he's not the same player he was last year. He's too slow. And Palmieri's another one. He's drag ass. They're devils. They're former devils. They're losers. They played for the Devils. Therefore, they are losers. Sorry. F- and Mr. 38. 38 special up on the front line.
But when we have players return back healthy, when we have players return back healthy, right? That's the big thing, right? Because Lee, when Lee's in the lineup, when Clutterbuck's in the lineup, you're going to have Shushnikov will not be in the lineup. He's filling that Cal Clutterbuck spot, as those you could see, right? Martin, Cizikas, and Shushnikov. It's just going to be Cal Clutterbuck replacing Shushnikov, and Shushnikov disappears into the sunset.
Okay, what has Matt Martin shown that means he should be on the ice opening night?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, that's my issue, and that's my problem.
Okay, are we going to make it one of those type of podcasts today? Is that what we're going to do? Because, right, I wanted to talk today a little bit about how things could go very well for the Islanders this season, how things can end up positively for us, and how things can, right, to wrap up the entire trek of an offseason that we've had into the first regular season game. I know Grumpy gets upset when I still say, hey, the offseason of the podcast. He's going to get upset. He's going to shake his head, whatever. That being said, to wrap up this offseason podcast, I guess the last one, I want to talk about how things can be good for us, how things can go poor for us.
I'm going to tell you how things can go good. Matt Martin's not in the starting lineup. Anders Lee's not in the starting lineup. That's how the season that's how we can make improvements. If you're going to roll out the same guys, you're not going to have improvements. Who are the guys who look the best? And I'm going to throw Oliver Wahlstrom should absolutely not be on the ice opening night. Why? Explain to me how you think the team is going to be better rolling out the same cast of characters, Barzal with 38 special and the F- on the first line. Nelson with Beauvillier, who's like, meh. I mean, Lee's going to play even though he's looked terrible in preseason. Bailey's looked good. Bellows has looked great. Pajot has looked okay. Cizikas, okay. Martin, freaking abysmal. Shishnikov absolutely should be playing. So tell me how, if you want to know how I think we could be better, is if Shishnikov and Bellows are in the opening night lineup and some of the fat cats, some of the guys who aren't any good anymore, are sitting their butts on the bench. That's how we can get off to a fast start. If you want to just roll out the same old song and dance, my friend, I don't see how you're expecting anything different.
Okay. You got a lot to unpack there, Grumpy, that you just said. That being, taking that into account, who should play? The players who are performing the best in preseason. I don't disagree with that, right? I think it's important to mention off the top. Shishnikov played well. He should be playing until he proves to you or shows you that I don't belong in this spot, right? No. You cannot continue to let players that are well past their peak, players that are beyond finished, rest on prior performances and say that's the reason why they need to be in the lineup. Matt Martin, what realistically does Matt Martin offer you on a night in, night out basis, right? I think you need some element of toughness to the lineup. There's no doubt about it. I'd rather have Ross Johnston than Matt Martin in the lineup, to be quite frank, at this point of his career. Cal Clutterbuck, he's a gritty guy who kills penalties. He kills penalties, but man, oh man, how much does he have left in the tank? He occasionally provides a great wrister for a goal. Those, those off-body shots where he'll feint the wrong way and he'll put it in. I mean, he offers service, but I'm like, we've got a lot of guys who are bottom six forwards. In my opinion is when you have a lot of guys that are similar or near the same talent level, buddy, all season long, it is a competition. It's a dogfight for the starting ice time. It is a dogfight for ice time out there. Whoever's performing the best is who we're rolling with. And that's how we're going to keep you fresh, right? You're not looking good in practice. You're playing like shit on the ice the last 2 games in a row. Gotcha. Cal Clutterbuck's coming in. Cal Clutterbuck's looking like he's dragging ass because he just played 15 games in a row, and it looks like we're not seeing the same exact energy and compete level. Well, you're going to get a night off or two. That's what we need to start seeing.
The only thing I disagree with that is it's not where Shushenhoff should play until he proves he can't. No, it's the guys who aren't up to snuff, proving that they are better than him. Not where he has to be better than them. They have to prove they're better than he is because he should be in the starting lineup. Kiefer Bellows should be in the starting lineup. Guess what? If Josh Bailey all of a sudden plays like dog shit, like Josh Bailey of many, many years now, he sits. And here's the thing. What did I say right up top? He has proven so far he deserves to be in the starting lineup.
I think so. Yeah.
Why? Because his job was threatened. He's the epitome of I'm just going to coast by because I've been here forever and ever. All of a sudden, he sees his job threatened a little bit. He picks his play up. Great. That's how the whole team should be. And it's not like, well, until Shushnikov or Bellows prove they can't do the job. Nah. How about the guys like Matt Martin and Anders Lee and whoever prove that they deserve to be in the lineup? Not that somebody else has to prove they can't be. They have to prove that they can be in the lineup. Matt Martin in particular.
I'm expecting I liked what I saw a little bit of Josh Bailey in preseason too. I think playing on the third line, playing a diminished role, I liked what I saw from him. And that's great, right? We can argue he gets overpaid. That I don't think there's really any debate that he gets paid an adequate wage for the results he puts on the ice. But playing on a third line, I like that. I think it allows him to kind of focus on different items as well.
I agree. Less of Josh Bailey is a good thing. I agree with that.
Oh,
Kiefer Bellows, you could argue that Kiefer Bellows, Matt Barzal was really good too in preseason when he played. I'm going to argue Kiefer Bellows is probably second best forward or third. Shushnikov was right up there too.
Is it? I can't even pronounce his name. Soshnikov. I don't know. I got to figure out this guy's first name. We're just going to call him. I feel like Butch Goring.
Shushnikov.
Nikita. I'm just going to call him Nikita S. Nikita S. Had a really good preseason.
His name is Nikita or Dmitry?
Nikita.
Just call him Shushnikov.
Nikita S. Anyway, Soshnikov. He's played well. And I hope they give him a chance, right? I know Cal Clutterbuck's still on the mend. He's recovering. If they really needed him to play, he could. It's a long season. Give him the first 5 or 6 games. I want to see if Soshnikov has got. You know what I mean? Over an extended stretch.
Doesn't it make you wonder why We re-signed Cal Clutterbuck for a 2-year extension for a guy who's been oft injured the last few years. And we feel necessary to sign a 34-year-old fourth liner to a multi-year contract. It's nonsensical. And then you put 38 special on the first line. No. That band is broke up. That band is disbanded.
We're the only team that feels like we have to re-sign back our fourth liners in their mid-30s to multi-year extensions. We're the only team that feels the need to do that, necessity to do that. Yeah. So, it's not something you see replicated amongst the majority of the league. And people say, well, how much fourth line production do they get in a postseason?
Nothing.
You make the freaking postseason in order to talk about postseason production. Okay.
Fourth liners are fourth liners for a reason. They get 10 minutes a night. They're an energy line. Guess what? When you're in your 30s, you don't have the energy you had. Believe me, as somebody who's well older than 30, you don't have the energy you had when you're in your 20s. You just don't. Sorry.
So, Grumpy, at your age, how much energy you have compared to your 30s?
Probably more than Martin at this stage.
Oh, good gracious.
And Clutterbuck for certain.
Oh.
Think about how many. Clutterbuck has been out a lot the last 2 years.
He has missed some time.
And you double down on the least available player? I don't get it. He bring in Shushnikov, right? Looked great. Kid's got wheels. Probably, I want to say he's probably the second fastest skating forward on our team.
That's another thing, too, that I like about it. He's a fast skater. He's a guy who's not afraid to go to the dirty areas. He provides a little bit of a scoring touch. He can kill penalties. He's a versatile player. That's why a guy like that, a team that is bereft of speed, finds a guy in a bottom six role who could skate, who can kill penalties, and offers a little bit of offensive pop. That's a guy that you cannot afford not to find a spot for that guy in the lineup.
We need guys who are plus skaters on this team.
Correct.
We just do. I mean, 38 special. 38 special looks like he's lost 2 or 3 steps. 38 special was kind of keeping up with the group last year. I ain't seen it so far. Maybe he'll pick it. Maybe 38 special at his age is going to show a little something extra come regular season. I doubt it.
Did you tell us who the 38 special is earlier? Did you let us know what that is? Who's the 38 special?
He's 38 special.
Why is he 38 special, Grumpy?
He's 38 years old, and the band 38 special, like they're a good summertime band. Maybe that's when he's good, is in the summer. He's been Matt Barzal's the greatest. He's been kissing ass the whole off season, so he'd get on that first line. You know what? Here's the thing. He was on the first line in Minnesota. As soon as they dropped him, he had a little hissy fit. They cut his ass from the team. He comes here. He starts kissing ass. He's back on the first line. He's been pigs. He's happier than a pig in shit right now. That's all I got to say. Back on the first line. But I'm going to tell you what, though. He can't keep up with Barzal, and neither can Palmieri. Palmieri looks like Anders Lee on that line. Slow. Anytime we get a plus skater, this team needs plus skaters. It's the way the NHL is. I know I keep hammering this point, but it doesn't change. I was watching a little game tonight. I'm watching Washington and Boston, right? Oh, Washington's done. Boston's done. I tell you what, they're not done. They're not done.
I can tell you Boston's definitely not done. Jeremy Swayman's a freaking bona fide, legit number 1 goalie.
Olmark was in net tonight.
Linus Olmark was in net. I still like Jeremy Swayman. I don't care who's playing in net. I think Swayman's the better goalie of the two. I think that they've got you talk about a really good 1A, 1B system. That's right up there with one of the best 1A, 1B goalie systems in the league.
Okay.
What do you think's better?
I think our team 1-2 is way better. Way better. Infinitely better.
Do you think Varlamov is a better goalie than Jeremy Swayman? I don't think so.
I think Varlamov's better.
I think our 1's better. I don't think our 2's better than their 2.
I think Varlamov is better than Olmark. Absolutely.
Maybe you didn't know what Olmark did last year.
I don't care. I have no faith in him in a big moment. I'll take our duo over Swayman and Olmark.
That's correct.
No.
I'm saying our number 1, Sorokin's much better than Boston's number 1. I think their number 2 is better than our number 2. They also have more of an even split. Think about it like this. Olmark played 41 games last year, and I think Swayman played like 41 games last year. So it was almost an even split down the middle. Olmark last year, a 9.17 save percentage and a 2.45 goals against average. That's better than Varlamov has to offer. Sorry.
I disagree.
Hate to be the you think Varlamov at this stage in his career is better than Linus Olmark when he just again a goalie who's how old's Varlamov? 34 years old now?
35.
35 years old who took a step back last year, who had a bad year. You think he's going to bounce back at 35? Goalies can bounce back later in their career, but you think he's still going up? Or do you think a guy who's like 28, 29 entering the prime of his goalie career like Olmark is probably a better option? I don't know. If you had to pick of your druthers, I'd pick Swayman out of if I'm picking a number 2 goalie.
Swayman's what, 24 years old, 25 years old?
Yeah, I like Jeremy Swayman. Absolutely.
You said that Swayman is the starter. You said Swayman's the starter.
They split time down the middle. I think Swayman had more postseason starts, but I don't know. We're getting into the semantics of things. We're getting into the weeds.
Here's the thing. The team obviously thinks that a 35-year-old Varlamov is better. You know how I know that? And you can have a bounce back year because they think 38 special can have a bounce back year and be on the first line. That name is going to stick.
38 special.
38 special.
38 special. Oh man. So, I will say this.
If we were, if we don't have to worry about copyright infringements like those other guys playing Journey, we could play some 38 special as a lead into this podcast.
Oh, good gracious. God almighty. I will tell you this here, Grumpy.
I like 38.
So let's look at it like this. When Lee's in the lineup, and let's say Cal Clutterbuck's in the lineup. Do they here? I think that the choice comes between Wallstrom or Bellows. Who do you think sits?
See, that's my whole.
I know that's the issue. That's the issue at hand. Trust me, I know, I understand. But that we all know, and we can look at that lineup and say, based off of the players who have been in and out, it's either going to be Wallstrom who gets a spot, or it's either going to be Bellows who gets a spot. You're not going to see both. They're not going to bench Bailey. They're not going to bench Cal Clutterbuck. They're not going to bench Palmieri. They're not going to bench Zach Parise. They're not benching Anthony Baviglia. They're not benching Anders Lee. They're not. Maybe they'll bench Matt Martin, but I would assume they're not going to bench Matt Martin.
That's fine. That's a group that, since the Lou Lamoriello came in under Trotz, a.k.a. Lambert, they've been in the bottom third of the league in scoring every year. So we're expecting that to improve by rolling out the same group, older now, mostly in the 30s, and we expect them to improve. I'm saying if you want to know if we can be more successful, I think we need to get away from that paradigm. That's all I'm saying. If you want to keep on riding the old war horses who were just broken down, I don't see how we're going to improve enough to make up 16 points in the playoffs.
Jeff Cambellini, I like this. He said, I see a lot of Trotz bashing on Twitter today, and I just want to say those doing it need to get a clue. Do you think the Islanders are suddenly going to score in bunches because they put more of an emphasis on the ozone? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
again, I think he's correct there with that. I think with more focus on the ozone, right? We may see additional goals. I'm not expecting us to go from a team that's in the bottom half of the league in scoring to the top half of the league in scoring overnight. That's just not going to be the case.
One other thing I noticed with the preseason, I think we should switch Pulock and Dobson sooner rather than later, because I've been underwhelmed with what I've seen positionally from Romanov. I don't want to see him with Dobson. I think you're just asking for trouble.
I'm glad we gave up that 13th overall pick for that guy.
He's 22. He's still young, okay? And he needs to learn the Islander system. Why not have him learn from a veteran?
I think Romanov will be fine. I really do. I'm just picking on you because I made such a hyperbolic reaction when we traded that pick for him.
Yeah, like I said, I'm fine with him, but I'm just saying, from what I've seen from him, he gets out of way positionally to throw a big hit. He'll pinch up at inopportune times. I can't have that when Dobson's his partner on the ice. That's Dobson's job, is to be up. I don't want to see Romanov, just from what I've seen of him so far, being the guy rushing the puck up the ice if he's playing with Dobson. If he's playing with Pulock, okay. I'd rather see Pelech and Dobson get 25 minutes a night, give 18 to the second pairing, and then whatever's left to Mayfield and Salo. And, of course, when you're playing penalty kill, Mayfield's going to be out there. Second power play, Salo should be out there, yes. Okay? So it kind of evens up the ice time. But so far, I've been a little underwhelmed positionally what I've seen from Romanov. That's all I'm saying. And I think that'll be a hindrance having him with Dobson at this particular point in this season.
And kind of I kind of want to shift gears because I do think, right, I'm all on board because I don't even think Pellick and Pulak have looked great at times. I think everybody on the defensive side looks a little rusty right now, and that's fine. It's going to happen. It's preseason, you know.
Well, okay. Guess what? Guess who we play tomorrow night?
And not a preseason game.
Not a preseason game against a team that can really skate. I mean, if we lose 45-2 tomorrow, what's the headline going to read?
Oh, if we lose 45-2, it would go down as the worst loss ever recorded in NHL history. That's what the title would be.
How long before you hear people screaming for Trotz if we have a bunch of bad defensive performances, right?
Oh man, that's a good point. How long? These are funny little things to take little wagers on. Mm-hmm. How long? When do you think we start? When do we think we start seeing on social media and online? I wish we had Barry Trotz as head coach. Mm-hmm. How long are you thinking?
It's coming. And Barry had to go, right? The players had tuned him out.
Yeah.
They all seem, I mean, you listen to them now, if you kind of listen through the subterfuge, they're all kind of glad he was gone. Sounded like he was at the end of the time in Washington. Won a Stanley Cup. Nobody cared that he left. Nobody. I mean, we think Barry Trotz is a good coach, right? But eventually you kind of got to shift gears a little bit. And it was time.
I think you're going to see more than just a crazy person on Twitter, like one individual, like, I wish we had Barry Trotz back. I think we're going to start seeing people, a collective group of people start to say that around game 25. Okay. I think that's the latest.
Not if we're 4-1. That's not going to happen.
Do you think we're going to be 24-1?
No, holy but I'm shit. Trying to be positive.
Did those hype videos pump you up to where you're positive?
The second one made me long for the good old days. The first one made I'm like, was this an amateur film student over here?
The first one was the first one was made for the demographic. People on Twitter usually are younger individuals, so they're made for younger people. When they put it out for the boomers, they put that one on the Islanders side, Grumpy, for the Islanders Twitter, and they appealed to you little boomer.
Okay. What's the biggest news for the Islanders this year? 50th anniversary.
Hopefully we can win games.
When the first video showed 50th anniversary and they showed clips of, and I mean, that was like maybe 5 seconds of a 2-minute, 15-second video. Maybe 5 seconds was 50th anniversary. And I thought, ooh, interesting. Why we're not hyping that a little bit more, 50th year. And they show Okposo and freaking Bailey. Guess what? I don't know who did that. Must have been a 2-year-old. They don't know anybody before that time. That's all I have to say.
I enjoyed that.
Figures. 2-year-old figures.
Is that what it is, Grumpy? I'm a 2-year-old?
Pretty much.
Do you want to know what I love, though? We talk about how big, right? The selling point is the 50th anniversary, right? Do you want to, I went on last
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
We can spend an hour on just about one silly little hype video. We've done almost an hour now. We're that good at doing that. That's what happens when you do an Islanders podcast and how they do nothing in the off season. You get a lot of practice making shit from Shinola. That's all I got to say.
Shit from Shinola. I'll tell you. So what I've been laughing at, Grumpy, is how many of that. So they gave out for everybody who was a season ticket holder. They gave out a golden puck. I think they're kind of nice looking. I could never justify the price on those, but they gave out like, hey, for all the 5,000 season ticket holders. Just take a look online.
There's only 5,000 season ticket holders?
Yeah, they gave out 5,000 of those pucks. Look at all these just selling on eBay. Day one. Hey, the people are just receiving them in the mail still. Hey, we're listing them up. Okay. I don't want this damn collectible golden puck. I'm like, it tells you a little bit about, like, here's the thing.
Maybe they want to get a Shack burger sandwich or something.
They want to go ahead and buy a beer.
They can't afford it. Now, is that like, 18 karat gold? Is it like really made out of gold, or is it just like gold plated? Or
no, I think it's just like a puck.
Now, in their defense, let's say you bought 4 season tickets.
They gave out 4 of them?
Yeah, I figured you would get 4, right? How many golden pucks do you need?
as many as you can get your grubby hands on, all 5,000, Grumpy.
I don't know how they established the price. I mean, are they selling those pucks also?
No. It was just for the season ticket holders.
Why would they not sell those pucks? They should sell those.
They're not as valuable then.
To who?
To the people. It's not as valuable.
Who gives a shit? They're selling them anyway. The Islanders should be selling those pucks in the concession stands. Absolutely, they should be.
Hey, you want a box of popcorn? You get yourself a free Isles Golden 50 anniversary puck. Come and get one.
You sell it for $50. I bet you there are people who would go to the game and buy it anyway.
If it was $50, I'd buy one for $50.
There you go.
It's
See?
cheap. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying.
They're
not thinking. They don't want to sell the fisherman jersey. They don't want to sell the golden pucks. What the hell? Obviously, they don't want to sell season tickets. There's nobody in the seats. Empty seats all the time. Why?
I think they should maybe get like a golden ticket idea in some capacity with the golden pucks. Everybody's getting a normal puck like that just has 50 on it, but a select few would get a golden puck that would give them free season tickets. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Ooh,
that's how they're going to make a lot of money.
Well, it depends on if we're winning or not. Season tickets wouldn't be worth as much, I mean, you get them for $8. So, I mean, that's
okay. Real quick, Tom V said had 2 season tickets, 1 gold puck. Oh man, that would piss me off a bit. Well, so 5,000. Thanks to Tom V for letting me know. 5,000 of those were out there, and people had already got them up online, selling them on eBay.
That's another blown marketing. It's a blown marketing opportunity for the
because they look cool.
They do look neat.
It's I don't know what the cost or like for a unit price or something like that is. I can't imagine it being too expensive.
Nope.
You would have unbelievable profit margin. Why not continue to do something like that? Whatever. I saw it. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool looking.
I'll bet you Josh Bailey and Anders Lee probably got about 50 of them in their basement.
They gave a whole bunch of the players where it's like, here you go, take them home, send them to your friends.
The cul-de-sac crew. Yeah, that's what they're sending out for Christmas gifts. Hey, you got a magic puck, gold puck.
Let's talk about this, Grumpy. Now, let's talk about how things could go right for the Islanders this year. We have talked a lot this offseason about what our expectations are. We are both in the camp of things will probably not go according to the Islanders' plan, or at least the organization's plan. I don't think that we're going to be a team that is in the playoff. We maybe might be on the outside looking in on the playoff picture, I think is a realistic way. I mean, if we make the playoffs, I wouldn't say shocked, but if we made the playoffs, I would be satisfied with the season based off of what we came in with. I'd be satisfied from the production of the players in Lane Lambert's job as a head coach. I wouldn't be satisfied with the general manager, but I would be satisfied with the players' production on the ice, and I'd be satisfied with the head coach's job. Would you not agree, Grumpy?
Yes, I would.
So, I want to talk a little bit more about how things can go right for us this offseason, Grumpy.
Okay, so we want to know how to start the season. What do you think we need to do?
No. I'm not talking about giving us game breakdowns or anything like that.
No, I'm not talking about game breakdowns. I'm just saying, first thing that we have to do, I mean, right, we have a lot of games to start the season at home, right? We start at home quite a few games.
Correct.
Okay, we got to take advantage of that. I realize that UBS Arena is not the same as the old barn at Nassau, not kind of the home ice advantage, but we have to kind of start building that particularly early. I think we have to come out and show that we're a good home team, right? Cannot fall behind. We can't go the first week or two of the season and be 6 points out of first place. Can't happen. We got to keep up.
Okay. No.
Start fast.
Let me rephrase it. I said how things can go well. So your pitch on how things could work out for the Islanders to where they're in a playoff spot come the end of the season is we find home ice advantage. That's one of the keys to the season for you?
Okay. I already told you what we needed to do to have a good season to start. You got to play Bellows and Shushnikov and have the best players play. The guys who proved it in the preseason should be starting.
Okay, so a new head coach may employ the best players play. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? He's a new head coach. I'm not going to judge him yet. We don't know just quite yet. Maybe Lane Lambert will give the best players the opportunities to succeed based off of the performance we saw in the preseason and based off of what we see in limited ice time and in practice.
All I'll say is if Matt Martin plays any games, that's not true. He was probably the worst player on the ice. And somehow you watch opening night lineup, he's going to be on the ice. You watch. Undeserved. This is not Matt Martin from 7-8 years ago. It just isn't.
I love how I'm asking you to talk about how things go well, and you still.
I already told you.
Matt Martin shouldn't be in the lineup. If he is, that's a big mistake. Okay.
I already told you.
So the only two ways things can go positively for us this year are if A, we develop home ice advantage, and B, we play the guys who are deserving. Those are the only two ways that we can make it into the postseason this year.
We have to start fast. If we don't start fast, we're not making the playoffs. We play a lot of games at home to start the season. If we don't start fast, if we go 3-6-1 from the first 10 games, we're in trouble. I almost say to be a playoff team, you got to, in the first 10, you got to be better than 500 hockey.
I would agree with that.
And we're having some tough games in there. I mean, it's going to be difficult. We're not a favorite. We're not. We're a team on the outside looking in.
We play a lot of tough teams. The only positive that could come from that is as teams are getting up to speed with the season, maybe we catch a few of them off guard.
Maybe.
And isn't that a shitty way to think about how things could be positive? But
so you're trying to say the only way we could have a good season is if we catch teams off guard to start the year?
I said the first few games. Here's the thing. I also think that some of the I think that Kiefer Bellows can surprise if given the opportunity. I think that a guy like Oliver Wahlstrom, if everything we're seeing and reading is true, right? The first two games of the preseason were not impressive, but we could see Oliver Wahlstrom, a guy that we all want to see take a step forward. Maybe he finally does. Maybe a guy like Anthony Beauvillier, who I would say his preseason was nondescript. Maybe it's a make it or break it year for him, in my opinion. Maybe he steps up and answers the bell. And people also put this out here too, Grumpy, regarding, hey, what have we seen? People say Kyle Palmieri had one goal in his first 29 games, and Parise only had one goal in his first 33 games. It can't possibly be worse than that. We have to improve upon those numbers, right?
I don't think so. They both suck. You got 38 special in the F-. You earn names like that.
Okay. So we're making.
Okay. Here's the thing. Zach Parise looks old. He looks like I thought he was going to look last year. That's what he looked like in preseason. Could not keep up. Palmieri, F-. That's all you need to say about him. Okay, they got hot down the stretch, right? So let's say they score a couple more goals early and they tail off at the end. What's the difference? I'm not expecting 25-goal seasons out of these two guys. They're your first line wingers. They should be putting up 25 in the season. Absolutely 25 goals minimum on your first line. That's not, I don't see that happening.
I agree with that. You may have more goal production out of them at the beginning of the year. Who knows what the end of the year is going to look like, because Kyle Palmieri didn't play on the first line last year, and neither did Zach Parise. You're asking them to have expanded roles for guys that are in their 30s. How usually does that work for players that aren't, Hall of Fame caliber guys or elite talented players? It usually doesn't work very well.
It doesn't. So, and here's the thing. Matt Barzal needs to score more than 15 goals this year.
Yes. Oh, that's my point, right? How can it go? If Matt Barzal steps his game up, and the more and a different coach and a different voice in the room allows him to feel more comfortable offensively, and he has more production, right? That's a way things can be positive for us. This is what I mean, Grumpy. Brainstorming and speaking about how things can be positive for us this year. Just so we cover everything and we cover everything.
Said the positive for me, Kiefer Bellows plays every game. That's a positive for me, because he's bringing energy. He's bringing physicality. He has a goal scorer's touch. That kid needs to play every single night. He's not a kid where I'm saying, well, okay, he's going to play until he cools off. No. He's shown that he deserves to play every night. Josh Bailey, so far, has shown he deserves to play every night. So the other guys who haven't, Oliver Wahlstrom is in that group right now. If he's not playing every single day on the island, you might as well send him down to Bridgeport and have him play every game.
Wow. Holy shit. Grumpy if he's not playing every night, send Oliver Wahlstrom to Bridgeport group.
What benefit is it for him to be Kiefer Bellowed like last year, play half the games, get, 9 minutes a night? No. He needs a regular shift. That's what he needs, a regular shift. And guys, and I'm going to say it again, even though it'll never happen, never in a million years, Anders Lee's not producing, bench his ass and put somebody else out in. There's certain sacred cows on this team who are just not super productive. You want to have a chance to be better, best players play. Period. Regardless of pedigree, best players play. Atu Ratu, based on preseason, should be playing on the opening night roster this year. He should be. He's not. That was disappointing to me. He proved in the preseason that he should have been up with the big team. Absolutely. He and Bellows were probably, outside of Barzell, the two best forwards on this team in preseason. And Shushnikov, when given a chance, was also really good. Those guys proved they should be playing in the opening night lineup. They should be playing every single night. Absolutely. That's how you turn a team over. That's how you say, okay, these guys are bringing life to the organization. You think Josh Bailey and Anders Lee are bringing life to this team? No, they're not.
I think, to answer back to my question, I think that simple things like now we no longer have Chara and Green. Well, I know you go on for so long talking about shit. Here's the thing. Anytime I ask you to say, let's try to identify the way things get positive.
I just told you. I just told you.
You bring up one point, and it's like, that's the only way anything can go positively this year. And you keep hammering the piss out of that one point, refusing to acknowledge any additional points, whether no, you're for it or no, you're against it. Anything else I bring up. Like, here's the thing. I think things could be positive as well. I think on the defensive end, things will be better for us. Without Chara and Green, I think we could expect better defensive performance out of our team and our unit. I think that could bode well for us this season.
Okay. I'm going to say it again. I've already talked about that point as well, but you just don't want to hear the.
If he plays the right player, and if he plays the right player and puts Pulak and switches Pulak with Romanov, then we'll be able to have better defensive performance.
That's right. See, here's the thing. I have to repeat it to you because that little brain of yours is not absorbing the information.
Here's the thing. Even if they don't do that, and when Romanov finds his way and finds his continuity and finds his comfort zone with Dobson, and Pellick and Pulak get back up to speed, you're still going to have a better defensive group out there than you had last year. That's the freaking point.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What, were we 7th in the league in goals against last year?
Maybe. I said we're going to have better defense.
We were, 7th in the league in goals against last year. Here's the thing. You let me finish. While Zdeno Chara could not skate anymore, and Andy Green was on his last legs. What was the one thing that they did extremely well? They were positionally sound. That was the one thing that they were really good at. I watch Romanov. I swear, sometimes I see his head cut off and him just skating around. Too much of that. On a team that thrives on a defensive system, you cannot have that. You can't. There's still going to be growing pains with Robin Salo. There are. I'm glad that he's the starter with Scott Mayfield. Absolutely ecstatic. Romanov to me right now is a wild card. He looks, I mean wild, a wild card.
Okay. A wild card. Jesus Christ.
He can't be in the box all night. That cannot happen. He can't be having 250 minutes in penalties, running guys all over the place. Can't do that.
I think no matter what, even if Romanov struggles a little bit at the beginning, and you've got a new defenseman in Robin Salo, I still think they're better defensively than Green and Chara. I cannot tell you how little I thought of Zdeno Chara last year. Absolutely miserable. And how little I thought of Andy Green. Just whatever you had as an expectation and whatever you thought about their play, lower it for me. I thought very little of both of them last year. Very little.
I know it's been documented how little you thought of them, but
I think just having even fresh bodies in there fixes the issue. Having you strapping rollerblades on an ice rink to you, Grumpy, would be better than Zdeno Chara back there at that stage in his career. Again, a legend, Hall of Famer, but at that point, man, freaking awful.
You know what I found interesting today?
Was that
Andy Green has retired from the NHL.
He signed a one-day contract with the Devils?
No, the Islanders are going to give him like a ceremony. I'm like, dude, he played 45 years with the Devils. He played a couple of years here. They're going to give him a little ceremony.
He played 2 years with us, right? I'm thinking 2.5 years.
That's Lamoriello. That's that devil in him. He's got that devil mentality, that Jersey mentality. Get out of there.
Please tell me that's a joke.
It's not a joke. I'll shoot you the link later.
He literally played not even 150 games with us, and we're giving him a ceremony.
Yeah.
I guess Eric Stahl's getting a ceremony from every damn team he played with over his career, based off of how many places he's been.
How come this guy? Islanders pay tribute to Andy Green as defenseman announces retirement.
Holy shit.
Probably a video. It's got a little video sign next to it. I can send it to you.
134 games with the Islanders, paying him a video tribute. Here's the thing, Grumpy. How excited are you going to be when you see a Josh Bailey video tribute?
Here's the thing.
I think it's going to be like feelings because he'll be gone, so you'll be happy, but you'll have to pain through that video tribute.
It's going to be like there was a documentary about, and I'm not saying content wise. There was a documentary like on like a prisoner of war camp in Nazi Germany. It was like 8.5 hours long back in the day. That's what it's going to be like when Josh Bailey retires. They're going to have this long thing. And it's not like they're going to show him doing it. They're going to probably show him in a classroom doing geometry exercises or getting juice boxes for the team or cutting up oranges for the team. You know, all that stuff that Josh Bailey does. I don't know how they're going to get that much time on it, but yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Almighty. I just look at almost every single player on our damn roster is going to get a video tribute if we're just saying like 160-ish games. I mean, hell, even Devon Taves, he was at 120 games. We should give Devon Taves one, 200.
You want to know what organizations do that when they give video tributes to guys who play their entire career? Some loser teams do that. I'm not saying we're a loser team, but that's what loser organizations do.
Well, that's what I'm kind of joking around for, Grumpy. I'm obviously being sarcastic that we should give video tributes to every single player, Grumpy. The threshold to honor somebody in the form of a video tribute must be at an all-time low for the Islanders organization.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But so we talked a little bit about how things can go positive. Let's mention very quickly how things can go negative this year for us, Grumpy. And then we'll get to the ad read and get into the comments because I know there's a few great ones. So let's talk about how things can go negative. Grumpy, I'll let you take this one away. How could things go negatively for us? I'm going to go ahead and use the bathroom, cook some dinner, go ahead and take a shower. I'm going to go ahead and switch the laundry over, maybe get my hair done, maybe get a buzz cut. I don't know. I should have about 2 hours.
Okay, how can things go worse this year? Lou Lamoriello says that he's going to be just be the president of the organization. He's not even going to ask the ownership. He's just saying he's going to do it. And that Fredo Lamoriello is the GM in waiting. That could really go really bad quick. That'd be number one. Signing who's an unrestricted free agent coming up? More of our aged veterans.
So you're already looking for next offseason.
Oh my God, Jess. Honestly,
how could things go wrong during this year, during the season for the franchise? I'm not worried about next offseason.
Okay. If everything that I'm afraid of comes to fruition, the fact that we're a poor skating team and with the modern NHL, we can't keep up. Things could get ugly real fast. If Romanov cannot adapt his playing style to fit the more defensive structure that Lane Lambert's going to want to implement for or has implemented for the team. If he can't fit in with the group, that can be a problem. Because as much as you hated what Zdeno Chara did last year, and he was not great, he couldn't move. He was always in the right place. He just couldn't move. Okay. But I've seen Romanov running into Dobson on the ice. I've seen him pinching up at inopportune times, leaving Dobson all back there by himself. Dobson should be the guy pinching up, not Romanov. He should be the defensive defenseman of that group. Dobson needs to advance his game, and Romanov needs to be part of that by being a steady, reliable partner.
Okay, so how else can things go wrong? You mentioned Romanov doesn't mix well with Dobson. You mentioned that, hey, we're going to be in a situation where possibly, right, Lamoriello gives his kid, Fredo, the job as general manager. How else can things go wrong for us during the regular season, Grumpy?
If our veterans,
the
older veterans, lose another step skating-wise, and if Sorokin isn't as good as last year.
If Sorokin's not as good as last year, and here's the other one, too. I will knock on wood. You hear me knocking the hell out of this wood. We have been a relatively healthy team under Barry Trotz. I would say we've had injuries every once in a while. Okay, Pellick missed some time. He was back after the bubble. He was back. Scott Mayfield broke a foot, but it was towards the tail end of the season when the season was over. We really haven't had a handful of injuries. Some teams go months without star players. We have never had to endure months without star players. I know Matt Barzal missed a few weeks last year. Brock Nelson, I think, missed a week or so. We didn't go a month or months without star players.
True.
We've only had that once under Barry Trotz, and that was with Anders Lee being out, right? He's the only guy you could say was the closest to a star player that was out for a long-term time period. So things, right? Injuries happen, and on an older team, it's just you're not healthier, and your body doesn't bounce back, and you don't stay, hey, man, I'm ready to go and skate. Not only did it just finish the game, but I'm ready to go run a mile. You don't have the same exact energy and vitriol that you had when you were younger, when you get older, just as you mentioned with the older team, Grump.
And hopefully Anders Lee is fully recovered from that knee injury he had 3 years ago.
That's right. That could be a plus column. Put that in the plus column, not the minus column, Grumpy. We'll put that in the plus column. Maybe he's finally recovered.
Or the minus could be, well, that's just all he is.
But
if Matt Barzal gets injured, that's a problem.
Yeah, I know he was injured for like a week or two last year. And people said, "Oh, well, the record was much better over that time period." Yeah. Try to see what this team could do over like a 2 or 3 month stretch without Matt Barzal. It would be hard to watch.
Asking Brock Nelson to be the first line center, getting all the attention from the other team's best defensive players would not bode well for the Islanders. We're not good enough offensively.
I think a lot of this season too. I think a good portion of the season's success lies on the shoulders of John Gabriel Pageau. As weird as that sounds, I think he's a guy who last year looked like a shell of what he's been in years past. Whether people claim he was still injured, he was this, he was that, his hand was hurt, I don't care. He didn't look the same way as what Islander fans fell in love with. We didn't see the same exact energy, compete level, aggression on the puck and away from the puck that we've seen in years past. Do we see Jean-Gabriel Pageau take a bounce back, right? That's a guy who's 29 years old. It's more likely that he just turned 30.
He's 30, yeah.
Okay, he just turned 30. It's more likely that he has a bounce back year than 38-year-old Zach Parise or 30, 34, 35-year-old players, right? You know, he's still not too far off of his prime, Jean-Gabriel Pageau. But here's the negative, right? He could just be not the same guy anymore. A smaller guy who's taking a lot of hard miles on his body.
Yep.
So, you know, there's a lot that we're going to find out. And, you know, it's never going to be all in the good column or all in the bad column. But you hope more of those items pop up positive than negative throughout the year. And that's how you find your way into a playoff spot. You can always make an addition of a top line winger at the deadline if you're in a spot to where you're in a playoff contention.
No. Don't set your franchise further back by doing some dumb shit like that.
You said you were in big favor of trading away the first round pick yesterday, Grumpy. Have you changed your mind?
Absolutely not. Should never trade away your first round pick.
Oh man.
Never freaking ever. It's a lifeblood of the team.
Is there
it enables you to do so many things when you hit on first round picks. You can't draft Casper Holmstrom's, but if you draft the right guy, you can't do it. You just can't do it. Don't reach for guys. Just no.
Do you have anything else to weigh in on the subject, Grumpy? I know, right, our thought process is we're probably going to be on the outside looking in. I know we gave a range, or I guess last podcast we gave the spots of where we think the Islanders are going to finish. I had the Islanders, in fifth?
I don't know where you had them.
I think I had them in fifth.
Okay.
I had the Penguins top three.
I know I had Carolina, Penguins, Rangers looked mighty good yesterday. And I think I might have had the Islanders 4th and then Washington 5th.
I don't know if that's the heart talking or the brain talking.
It's the heart talking.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I want the Islanders to be good. I want them to make I want them to be good, right? My brain tells me no, it's not happening, but I want them to be good. I'm not delusional like everybody was last year. I didn't think we were making playoffs last year, but this year I just like what I saw in the preseason. A little bit more energized Matt Barzal. What I've seen from Kiefer Bellows, but the coach. I always say players win games, coaches lose them. If you want to go back with the old war horses and keep the Kiefer Bellows and the Shushnikovs on the bench to play some of those, your Matt Martins and your Casey Zizekises and your Cal Clutterbucks, well, then you kind of make your own bed. I mean, for me, it was a very salient point you made on J.G. Pajot, though. He still does not look like the same guy he was when we first got him.
I think he's not a guy you really expect a lot from, but he's one of those guys who's an unsung hero for this team, and the role that he serves is extremely important. And it's because of the system that we play.
Yep.
Because if we didn't, we don't have to be a team that's as reliant upon our third line center to be as productive as he is. But the system that we play, we don't have enough top end talent on our top two lines, so we have to have guys on our third line who produce.
When I see you smirk, I'm thinking you know something I don't know.
I have the ad up, so I'm not looking at anything right now.
Okay, I just when I see you do that little smile when you're talking, it's like, oh, okay, he knows something I don't know.
I'm the thing I know is, holy shit! The entire offseason we have talked about this show for a year and a half has been talking, or I would even say for almost a full calendar year has been talking about. This team needs to restructure. This team is in trouble if we continue on this path. People have been saying, no, you're crazy. This is a situation where it's a one-off. Last year was an aberration. Don't worry about it. We're going to be back. We've got to roll the dice. We owe it to the guys. And we're going to find out now. You know what I mean? All of the back and forth, everybody calling us crazy. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're going to find out real quick.
I find that laughable when people say you owe it to the guys. You don't know anything to the players. You want to know, the only thing you owe the players is their paycheck every 2 weeks or however soon they get it. That's all you owe to the players. They're supposed to perform. You pay them money. You don't owe running them back. It's ridiculous. Stupidest thing. Never works, by the way. Never freaking works. Run it back. I hate that saying. Run it back. That came
how does it even? Okay, here's another thing too I want to say. How does running it back work for any team in professional sport? Let's say you're the best team. You're the best team in the entire freaking league. Let's run it back without any significant changes to the team. It doesn't work. Even when you win the Super Bowl, you win the Stanley Cup, you win anything. That's the World Series. Let's run it back and not change anything up. You're not going to win. Every other team, as you were sitting on your hands trying to secure the pieces that you currently had and make sure they don't leave, all those other teams out there in the market are getting better. And you're staying at best the same, if not slightly regressing. And we're running it back with this team. Okay, here's my projection. I've talked myself into my brain mode, right? I've got on top Carolina, number 2, the Rangers, number 3, Pittsburgh, number 4, Washington, number 5, the Islanders, number 6, Detroit, number 6, the Devils, number 7, I've got Columbus, number 8, I've got the Flyers. So I've got us in 5th.
Okay. All right. You seem a little angry. Let's run it back.
No.
I just find it funny how, run it back. Should you not win something before you run it back?
That shit. When I said that, I'm like, no. As soon as I said that, and I think about how many people like, oh, we owe it to team. We need to run it back. This team is virtually the same exact team that we had 2 years ago. We had last year. We had 3 years ago.
4 years ago, almost.
It's been a little bit of a change, but not a lot. I mean,
how many players are different? 4. After the first year, when Varlamov came in, how many guys have really changed up on this team? Salo, Romanov.
Mm-hmm. It's the first year, technically Sorokin, because he wasn't with us the first year under Trotz. That was Leonard, and so Sorokin and Varlamov.
But the next year was Varlamov and Sorokin. That's why that's why I said 4 years. This is Lou's 5th year.
Okay, that would have been
goaltending is the same.
Yeah.
Romanov's a new defenseman. Salo's a new defenseman.
Dobson's up there in the NHL. We no longer have Nick Leddy.
Dobson was up in the NHL then too.
Okay, but now he's in a full-time role.
Yeah, but he was still with the team.
Well, Johnny Boychuk is no longer with the team.
Right. It's Salo and Romanov. Those are two guys. Leddy is gone.
Correct.
And Boychuk is gone. Boychuk was gone. Okay. Long story short, there's not been a whole lot of change in 4 years on this team.
Yeah, that's why the run it back scenario just kind of like my brain is telling me absolutely not.
I just hate the phrase.
Scenario never works. Ever.
I just hate the phrase "run it back." It's just stupid. You know what it sounds like? Somebody who produces a hype video just comes up with the saying "run it back." It's just stupid.
I want to run back that first hype video. Run it back, Isles territory. I want to see it again. Run it back. Man, but let's get to an ad so we could stay somewhat on target for today's episode. There's a lot of comments, I'm sure, as you can imagine, so I'm not sure we'll get to every one of them. But hockey fans, it's finally time to hit the ice again. And thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. You're in for a season of a lifetime. New customers can bet $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. And, if that's not enough excitement, you can turn small bets into even bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Like, for example, you could say, I think Josh Bailey is going to score a power play goal. Sorokin's going to get a shutout. The Islanders are going to win a game, and much, much more. Combine multiple bets, like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and have a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and bet $5 on any NHL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Again, that's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for additional details.
Yeah, nice ad read there, TJ. Pretty impressive. Yeah. If you want to get through the comments.
I love how you can even get something like nonchalant where it's like you have something as I'm going through the ad read. What are you thinking of? What are you usually doing, Grumpy? You usually don't have anything else you want to add in after that where it's like you just got a minute and a half break. What do you want to add in?
I usually think I've been carrying the show for the first hour plus.
Oh,
as soon as he finished talking, I'll just do the comments because I figured if you want to get through the comments quick, I'll just do them because I can get them. They read properly, first of all. I saw that Stefan put out the possible first game starters. Looks meh, but what can you do? At least Bellows is playing. Now, I don't know what he put out there, but
I think it was same or similar.
Okay.
I'll pull it up though.
Frank from Empire State Control says, hey, how you doing, Frank? Scott Levis says, hey, guys, how you doing, Scott? Pleasure to see you. Matt DiBarnito says, Wally not in the opening night. Is a trade coming? No, he doesn't deserve to be in the opening night lineup because he hasn't played. Actually, he had to play the first two preseason games, been injured the rest of the time, does not deserve to be in the opening night roster. We're not even going to talk about the other guys who don't deserve to be in there based on their play. Next, Doug R says, good evening, gents.
Jesus fucking Christ. Can you not relax and calm down? You're like, you're Grumpy. By the way they're reading, in 10 minutes, you're going to be having to go through 5 of your purple drinks. I mean, I'll let you read it and go at your pace, but man, Grumpy, I feel like
Doug R says, hey, we got to get through these comments, DJ. I got time for your nonsense. Doug R says, good evening, gents. Glad I'm back after a weekend of COVID. Hopefully you're feeling better, Doug. Best medicine would be an Islanders win tomorrow. Well, let's look at the second biggest cure that you could possibly have. Next comment, please. D-Cut, David Cutler, alias D-Cut from Isles Misery, rated R. That fantastic Facebook group says, sup, boys? What's up, D-Cut?
Hold on a second. I've got the lineups that Stefan posted.
Okay.
So I'll let you look at that, Grumpy.
Nelson, but why is that the first line? Holy shit. Ugh. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much what we said it was going to be, right?
I was about to say, this is exactly what we went up.
It doesn't take rocket science to figure out that's what they were going to do.
Yep, and when Cal Clutterbuck comes back, take him off the list. In all season, it's going to be Bellows and Wallstrom fighting for a spot.
See, then your team will not get better. Your team will not get better.
It's a good way to stunt both of their growth as well.
Yeah. Bellows deserves to be an everyday player, period. Scott Levy says, looks like Bailey will be on the third line at least. That is what all the line projections look like and from the practice reports. And that's what he did in the preseason. No problem with that at all. Bailey's looked better than he has probably since he was in Pee Wees.
I was about to say, he looked better out there. Better to keep him on the third line. I agree.
Doug R says, I'm watching the Montreal-Toronto game, and the building in Montreal is not full at all. Wonder why. That surprises me. I don't know.
Well, when the team loses games like that and they're a bad team, tough for them to be in there. It's tough for people to buy tickets.
It's still opening night in Montreal.
You're already having to chug down that purple drink because you're reading too quick, Grumpy. Slow your horses, partner. Okay. Drew L says, for TJ, there's always a shame in his game because he's never the same. Oh, man. Wade Flaherty, Grumpy's got one for you.
I work at Eisenhower Park where the Islanders practice. This afternoon, while walking in my car, I witnessed Andrew Gross going through garbage cans looking for bottles. He wasn't even wearing gloves. It could have been worse. I was going to say he was doing something else, which was even more inappropriate.
I'm glad you didn't talk about that. So
I did not. I don't know Andrew Gross. So
Drew said, TJ, I sent you something on Instagram. Apparently Matt Barzal said the Islanders need to adapt. I'm not sure what it means. Reiterating what Grumpy said.
That's probably
I don't
what
have
it is.
Instagram. So let's check here. I'm sorry. I'll let you move along with the comments.
That's fine. Next, D-cut. Fire TJ, hire D-cut. That's a common refrain. Rob G says, hello, all Islander fans. Go Isles. Matthew S says, good evening, gentlemen. Frank K says, Isles are playing Saturday, too. We're going to be
I hate when you do this shit, dude. You read the comments like that. It pisses me off to no end.
I don't care.
It pisses me off.
It doesn't matter. Drew L says, no podcast on Saturday. Breaking news. Islanders fire Lou Lamoriello. TJ, oh, damn. Should have brought my camera equipment.
Grumpy, I'm going to let you know something, man. You're not going to have a bone to pick. I'm going to have a bone to pick with you. Frank says, yo, Rob. Go Islanders. And yes, we are winning tomorrow. Frank says, hire Phil's fax. There it is. Phil's fax is being brought in on full retainer there.
Stephen S. Green Bay Packer fan, Milwaukee Admirals fan says, can I just say that it feels so good to be back, even though the NHL season technically started with my Predators caging the Sharks in back-to-back games. Happy to see what this season holds. Then Steven adds up, on the topic of fan fights. You know it's bad when players get involved, especially when the Rob Ray incident where he landed 15 strong ones on a fan who jumped on the ice. Hey, you get what you get. Don't do it, fans. Don't get in the field to play. No one is paying their ticket or TV rights to watch you get on the ice. You get on the field to take a beating, even though it is fun to watch.
It's fun for you and I to watch. And if you witness a fan fight, let's say they go on the ice. Let's say there's even a fight that's in the stands. Please, please, please flip your camera to portrait or flip your camera to landscape mode, not portrait mode. Don't be recording like this. Flip it to records like this so everybody gets the full view. I don't need to see what's going on in the freaking nosebleeds. I want to see what's going on with the fight.
Yeah, Coppola, get the shit straight. Pac-Man says, did anyone notice the team started 5-2-2 to begin the season last year? Sorokin started all the games. A losing streak started when Trotz, that hack, forced Varley in, who clearly wasn't recovered from his injury. Yes, now Trotz's failure is complete.
We didn't start off 5-2-2 last year.
I don't think so either, but hey, that's okay.
Maybe the first 8, maybe that was the first 9 games. Sorokin's win percentage for the games think about how bad the team was last year. Sorokin's winning percentage was actually really good, Grumpy. I was trying to think here. I was looking at it earlier, but for a team that had a losing record and by a comfortable margin, Sorokin last year was this stupid ad. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Give me a sec. I think he had 24 wins last year. Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you it wasn't 50 because we didn't win that many games.
I didn't say it was 50. But yeah, when you're looking at his production last year, 26 wins, 18 losses, 8 overtime losses. Well into a winning record, even when you count in the losses that we had. Think about that. Our team had a winning record every single time we had Sorokin in that. Where did the fault lie? you figure out the common denominator. It wasn't Sorokin. There's one goalie who had a lot more losses than wins on our team. And it's the goalie who you think is a really solid number 2, better than Swayman.
I think as a back, he's a fine backup. I think he's fine as a backup. He shouldn't be getting as many games as he gets, but he's a fine backup.
Mm.
The Wicked 50 Cal says, I loved your stream with Stefan Rosner. Would love it if you could get him on again. He is, in the Wicked 50 Cal's opinion, the best reporter on the Islanders beat. There you go.
I agree with that too.
Give you a little pat on the back.
I agree with that too, Wicked 50 Cal. We really enjoyed having Stefan on, and he was in a situation where I respect what he does, and I like what he puts out there. Tommy B says, good evening, gents. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Drew L says, well, why is Barry in the video? We must really hate him now. I guess I didn't do a good job explaining that.
Yeah.
Stephen S. Grumpy.
Heck, even the refs have to know that to truck fans on the ice. But I highly recommend look up that video. That ref checked the fan from behind. Should be a 2 and 10 penalty for checking from behind. Okay.
Andrew L said,
LOL. This was not released by the Islanders.
Did I say this was released by the Islanders?
Yes, you did. Guys, this is a fan-made video.
I know it was a fan-made video.
Well, you didn't make that clear at all.
He usually believes everything he sees. Jesus Christ. What's up, Brian B? How are you?
My brother from another mother.
Oh, man. Mookie Betzer says, are we getting any 80s Grumpies pictures tonight?
No, not today.
Grumpy, why are you not getting on that? What the hell are you doing at your house? You just sticking around all day? You're getting those pictures. You pulling those pictures up.
No, I've been doing other things.
What you been doing?
Work.
You're not working. You're retired. What are you working at?
Working around the house. I got a lot of things to do.
What are you doing?
Don't you worry about it. Get to the next comment.
Yeah.
We got a lot of comments. We got a lot of comments to get through.
I'm gonna have to talk with the warden. She'll get right on your ass, Grumpy. The warden's gonna lock down further on the grumpy old man.
That movie reminds me of the movie Soylent Green.
I couldn't tell you what the hell that is.
All right. It's where Charlton Heston starred in a movie with Edward G. Robinson, maybe the last movie he ever made. Edward G. Robinson, that is, where there was a population explosion and the earth could not produce enough food. So what they were doing is taking dead people and turning them into these little green wafers, Soylent Green. So you were eating dead people.
How do they taste? That's the big question. Were the wafers yummy?
I don't know. They never said if it was good or not. But let's just say that that's what that video reminded them of.
Tommy B says, breaking news that Frank K is suing Isles Territory for the rights to the music.
That's right. See, that's one thing I thought is like, man.
Rob G says, come on, Grumpy. Be nice, my friend. Yeah,
I love you, Rob. Don't worry about it.
Nick Persuada. I don't know how to pronounce that name. How do you pronounce the last name? Nick P. produced that video.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, Nick. I apologize. I can't pronounce anybody's last name, though, so don't worry about it. Scott L says the Islanders video is released at 8 p.m. It's true. And Mario says the scene where they play the movie that showed what Earth used
to be like.
God. Oh, man. His videos are usually really good. I liked it too, Matthew, but apparently Grumpy didn't. Doug R said there's a 50-second video there from
you know what it reminded me of? You want to know what it reminded me of? The movie Scrooged with Bill Murray, when they were showing, the beloved holiday classic, A Christmas Carol. And then they showed the version that Bill Murray puts out. You have to see this. The planet explodes. Everything blows up. You got to see it. If you don't, you're going to die. Something like that. That's kind of what it reminded me of.
That's what I did, Grumpy, is what you're saying? Kid gracious.
No, that's what this video reminds everyone of.
Oh, yeah. I did say
sure. Don't forget this one. TJ, you did say the Islanders released this. Thank you. Dave C says, TJ, you made it seem like it was made by the Islanders. I agree, Grump. Way to blow it, TJ.
God damn it.
Mookie Betts says, I'm picturing 80s Grump, mullet, yes. Mustache, yes. Gold gym muscle tank, absolutely. Baggy hammer pants, no. I did wear parachute pants, though. Listening to WCBS FM. No, I don't think I listen to CBS. I listen to PLJ, BAB. But yeah, other than that, he's pretty accurate. Good one. Good one, Mookie.
Scott L said, off to a great start.
Oscar and Felix. I wonder who's Oscar and who's Felix.
I don't know what the hell Oscar and Felix is.
Oh, what a freaking loser. The Odd Couple. Oscar was
you keep saying The Odd Couple. What the hell is The Odd Couple?
It was okay. First of all, it was originally a Neil Simon play on Broadway, turned into a movie starring Walter Matthau as Oscar and Jack Lemmon as Felix. And then it became a television show, I believe, for 5 seasons on ABC, starring Jack Klugman as Oscar and Tony Randall as Felix. Oscar was a slob. Felix was like a neat freak. And they lived together. The music, do 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 do. There we go. That's that.
It's the guy from Bad News. It's the guy from Bad News Bears.
That's right. The guy from Bad News Bears, Walter Matthau. Correct. He and Jack Lemmon did a number of movies together. The Fortune Cookie. I mean, just a lot of good ones. And he actually won Academy Award, I believe, for that. So Front Page, I think they were on together. Yeah. The Islanders, Tommy Baffy, your friend. One of TJ's gadflies. The Islanders released 1 hour.
Can you not read, Grumpy?
No, I'm actually reading. He can't write. An hour of Josh Bailey Heights just to piss me off. I don't think they could even come up with that much. It'd probably be like an endless loop.
A fun play.
Like in the movie Speed. They were in a 30-second highlight clip and they just ran it over and over again. Stephen S. says, whoever created that video should have used Hell's Bells for the music. Would have fit so much better with a team called the Islanders after all. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Doug R. says, the vid from Islanders territory was meh. The other one from New York Islanders is shorter and better. Thank you, Doug. Next comment. Matthew S. says, TJ, always cite your references correctly. Then I think he's doing a shake his head thing. Mark A. says, the Rangers look good. They did. I hate to admit it. Rob G. says, I'll tell you, the Islanders have a really sharp team. They're going to be hard to beat this year. Have confidence. That's all they need. I'm tell you what, Rob is fan of the year so far, without a doubt.
Rob, I think with the positivity will always be fan of the year.
Absolutely.
Positivity.
Rob's great. Rob. I'm a little bit intimidated by his dog, though. D-Cut says millennials. I think he's talking about you, TJ.
Grumpy, do you really think he's talking about me?
I do.
You're just gonna I think he's talking about you, TJ. Okay, next comment. Okay, next God, I hate when you take that approach.
Brian J says this is going to be a king season, ladies. I don't know what
you meant to say long season.
Okay.
Long season there, Grumpy. Okay. Let's go Yankees, says Coach Tommy B. Marv Williams says trots in black and white like Wizard of Oz.
I'll tell you, look at Marv, man. That's a sharp looking picture. I like that. Tony G says, I can't wait for TJ to accidentally show us his hentai videos.
Okay. I don't know when I don't watch that. Who the hell downloads stuff like that too? My God.
Tony G does.
That's Jesus. Check his basement. Check his crawl space. That's what that
is. Crawl space.
Check Tony G's crawl space for his hidden hentai videos. Scott L. Grumpy.
Oh, there's the chin.
There's the chin. D-Cut saying this podcast may go 4 hours at this.
I guarantee if I'm reading the videos, if I'm reading the comments, it will not go 4 hours. Tommy Baffy says we need a grumpy old man hype video with the Beatles song "When I'm 64."
There it is, Grumpy. You posted that.
You didn't think I knew that song, did you?
I don't
John
know.
P. Volpe says Bailey should be the only one in the video. Ugh,
he's the GOAT. He's got like a belt. He's won something there, Grumpy.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe it looks like the World Series poker, but maybe he won a fishing tournament. Maybe John happens to know the people that were shoving those metal balls down those fish in order to get heavier fish.
They're having a big thing, like they're bringing him up on federal charges.
No shit, because they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Potentially stole hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Prove it.
Time to go ahead and get a whole bunch of
Prove that all these other fishing contests, those guys were filling them up with lead. Maybe they just shoot the
not
damn
lead.
fish.
No.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they were filling lead because they weren't fishing with reels. They were
How many 1 pound lead projectiles or metal?
They were shooting
projectiles?
cannonballs at them. I don't know. All I know is they caught a shitload of fish.
It didn't pierce the skin of the fish at all, or the scales, but it just
Open
happened
their
to
mouth.
be
Boom! There you go.
Open it up.
Musket. They were shooting with muskets.
Oh, that's
Boom,
what it
smoke.
is. Oh man. Andriel says, man, TJ's taste is anything, if anything, in anything, is crazy. That second video was so much nicer.
Yeah, I think he does that just on purpose, just to piss me off.
John Volpe also says, was John Spano in the video? No,
He should have been. If
unfortunately not.
Josh Bailey was in it, John Spano should have been in it as well.
Bailey should have his own video. Marv Williams, they're on to something, Grumpy. I think Bailey should have his own video. I agree with you, Marv. Grumpy, I think, would like that too.
He's going to have his own video in 7 days. You know they're going to do it. I'm going to make sure I'm not watching pregame because we cannot do that game live. Absolutely not, because
I
think
almost want to just because of that day.
I think I'll have a damn aneurysm.
Mm.
Well, maybe we should just video our reactions to the Bailey thing and just post that.
I need to have the warden video you, but I need to let her know without letting you know. So she's able to do it and just get your actual reaction. Rob says, you're killing me. Poor Josh Bailey.
Poor Josh Bailey.
What can I say, Tony? TJ is cultured. Oh, man. I mean, that means TJ and Zac Efron have something in common. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
No. Shushnikov.
Sashnikov. I don't know. I see it spelled a whole bunch of different ways phonetically. Tony Chi says, Drew seems like the guy who watches mukbang videos. Grumpy, you know what a mukbang video is?
I do not know what mukbang. I'm telling you, it's probably.
Tell me what you think a mukbang video is.
Let's see. Bang is in it. Mucks. I'm going to say maybe people who roll around and bang in the mud. I don't know. Mukbanging. I don't know.
Muck after the Pokemon. Muck, the Pokemon. Bang, having sex. Is that how you got to that? You know, like how some people do that to derive how do you spell the word?
Muck is Pokemon?
Muck is a Pokemon, yeah.
I think muck is like,
mucking about. Yeah, mucking about. That's what they say over there. You came mucking about. Yeah, anyway. But no, a mukbang video is like where people go ahead and gorge themselves with what's the equivalent of like maybe a meal for 10 people and they eat it all in one sitting. Ooh. So like, it's like disgusting. It'll be like, I just ordered the entire McDonald's menu and they'll eat the entire McDonald's menu in front of a video camera. And people watching that shit. It's disgusting.
Is it like guys eating 6 hot dogs?
People will like, ugh, dude, the nasty shit is when they have the seafood and they're dipping in the butter and you see them go, and I'm just like, dude, it's just so much food. I'm just like, I'm going to puke.
It figures it figures you of anyone would know anything about eating videos. Why am I not surprised?
It's a culture thing. It's a culture.
I never heard of it. I never even heard of it. It sounds stupid to me.
Hold on a second. I'm going to get one for you, Grumpy.
No, just go to the next comment.
No, this is something we
got things to do.
This is one we have to go ahead and show. Oh, here we go, Grumpy.
This is going to get
Jesus Christ. Okay, here's the thing. What usually indicates a good mukbang video too is when I can't read any of the language on the on the description as well, because I know it's in another language. When you could see the title, what do you think that title means?
It looks like a duck.
Glazed mini donut with strawberry cream cake mukbang. I'll let you watch what this is. Who would figure we go down this little rabbit hole? But I figure since we're on the topic here,
it looks like it's made up. It's a cartoon.
So this is what he does. He is
looks like you, TJ. It's a donut.
I'm about to
do that shit all the time. That's you that's you every night. I don't know who the hell you think you're kidding.
I'm eating. Grumpy, do you see how many dozens of donuts? He's got 2 dozen donuts.
Like I said,
and a cake
every night. That's you every night. Stop. Look at that kid. He get that whole damn donut in there. He don't even need a fork or anything.
Like, listen to this shit. Oh my god! And it's like the people like the volume.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you notice, they don't.
Dude.
They shoot it at different angles all the time. See what I mean? They're shooting it at different angles, so you don't know what's really going on.
What do you think's going on, Grumpy?
I have no idea.
You think he's eating that? He's dressed up like that? He doesn't.
I have no idea. Okay,
days?
I've seen enough.
Grumpy, now you happy that you know what a mukbang is?
I've already forgotten what it means.
Stop. John Volpe said, would have been nice to give Ratu a chance to stay up. Absolutely.
Deserved it. Matt S says TJ again displaying his second grade reading level.
I do what I can. Tommy B says, teaching the grumpy old man to announce the first ever 24-hour show. How many bathroom breaks for TJ?
48. About every half hour.
Scott L says 10 bathroom breaks. Matthew S said, and 4 tampons. Oh, wow, there it is. Scott L said yes, but Grumpy screwed up also. He did screw up. Thank you very much, Scott.
It's possible.
Brian P says it's never a shock. It's never a shock. This is the same roster. What? Since I was in the first grade and I'm 48.
And he's 48. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Pony Bear Curtis says, boys, boys, boys. TJ, I get no credit for putting you on to NYI hockey. Now, you did. You did put us onto that. You did. You were one of the many there. You were one of like 2 or 3. So, yes, you did, Pony Bear Curtis. Absolutely. I can't remember if we gave credit to that, but you did definitely. D-Cut says, grumpy old man is going to need colostomy bag when Wallstrom gets sent to Bridgeport when Clutterbuck is activated from the IR.
Tell me you can't see that happening.
Yikes. Yikes. Goon Grumpy.
I'm very anxious with anticipation regarding tomorrow night. Can you suggest what I can do to settle my nerves? Yeah, drink heavily. You'll probably pass out before then, and you'll be all right.
When does he need to start drinking, Grumpy? Get specific. And what does his drink of choice need to be?
Anything that gets him plastered. I think he should probably start tomorrow around 2 p.m.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Goon. Starting 2 tomorrow in the afternoon, a handle of Sailor Jerry's. That will put you in a good mood, and you'll be puking by the time the game starts.
And watch Sailor Moon videos.
Sailor Moon. And Matt S says
it's shush, not sosh.
Not shush. It's
shush. Shush. Shush.
Sosh.
Shush. Shush.
Shosh.
Oh my God.
Soshnikov. It's Soshnikov.
Shush.
Brian P. Grumpy. Get back to reading.
Martin Clutterbuck.
Work.
Great guys, great warriors, but they shouldn't have starting spots in the NHL anymore. That's true. Tommy Baffy says, I'm happy to announce my nephew Carson will be in section 105 tomorrow night as Captain Anders Lee's special guest. That's our captain and FU Cancer. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, do you remember Carson?
No, I do that. I don't know what FU, if it's what that stands for.
Cancer.
And here's the whole thing. I suggest that Carson says to average, it says, I heard that you're average. Is that correct?
He probably would smile. He would have an ear-to-ear smile on his face.
So you've been listening to that TJ and the grumpy old man, haven't you?
No, it's great though. Anders Lee did that though. It really is.
He's a nice guy. I'm not putting.
He's a great guy.
He's just not a great hockey player.
Yep.
Nothing to do with the guys as people. Absolutely not. Great people.
Absolutely. Love to hear that too, Coach Tommy B.
Frank says, grumpy old man, they'll be better because a new, more aggressive and offensive system. And you're assuming Lane won't bench the deadwood. I bet he does. We're going to find out. If he's playing Matt Martin on opening night, that's a harbinger of bad things to come. Stephen S. says, next comment. Stephen S. says, I'm just throwing this out there, but is it me or does the LA Chargers logo look like a toenail that's been shaped into a lightning bolt? If I'm the Chargers, just go back to the dragon logo. They've never had a dragon logo. It was a horse.
And that's why they have that. That's why they've got little horses, their mascot.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The reason why it's curved like a toenail is because that's the shape of the helmet. Great uniforms for the Chargers. Frank K says Martin can't skate anymore. It's been the case for a while. Ponyboy Curtis says Stefan Rosner is definitely going to lose his press pass for coming on this show. His reaction to Grump asking if Josh Bailey's mommy brings him a juice box along with the boards during practice was priceless. He knew not to respond to certain things, but I know what it means. It's all right.
Oh man.
Tommy Baffy says Islanders named Frank Kaplan in charge of all third jerseys to be made and designed in China. Okay.
China. Ponyberg Curtis also said, I didn't realize Stefan Rosner was from my town, Belmore. He's a little younger than me, but he went to the same high school. I feel like he might have had a brother in my grade or something. Donald Rosner is his brother. the owner of the Blue Line Deli. Scott L says, "Oh my God, it's Shushnikov, not Sashnikov."
That's for you, DJ.
I think it's for you, Grumpy.
Shushnikov.
Oh man, class act kid. I got to tell you, he's got a bright and proud future ahead of him. The kid's living a dream, hanging with the pros at a young age. People would kill for his job. He does a great job at it. Absolutely.
He should watch out.
Why?
Tony Boy's trying to say he could get whacked.
Oh no,
take his job.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
Be careful.
Doug R said, "Just wait until next year. The centers are Barzal, Berdard, Ratu, and Brock Nelson. Good times.
Wouldn't that be great?"
D-Cut.
Shush. Played fourth line in Toronto. Guy has some speed, some feistiness, could kill penalties. That's what the modern day fourth liners look like. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you know what you have to do? You don't have to pay him Dungats. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nick D says, TJ and Grumpy, how you guys doing tonight? Doing great. I love the new logo for Nick D because now we're in regular season mode. Teams are going to love to play against us because the same lineups as usual. Ooh, that's a little gallows humor there. Ponyboy Curtis says, Grump, who do you like better, Josh Bailey or Josh Allen? Who's tougher? Who had more grit? That's not even, that's just ridiculous. Josh Allen, please. I feel like anyone named Josh is just soft. Actually, I know a lot of guys named Josh, and they are soft. Josh Allen is not that way. He looks soft if you look at his face, but he's not soft. It's a soft serve name, Carvel Ice Cream.
Matthew S. said, Grumpy old man, you're incorrect too on pronunciation.
Okay.
Third grade reading level, much, Grumpy.
Actually, I think mine is fourth grade.
Okay. Okay. People are laughing at the 38 special, Grumpy.
Yeah.
Rob says, you're so right, Grumpy. Structure number one.
Yep.
Nick D.
Grump, let's see what happens 10 to 15 games in. Hopefully Lane changes the lineup at that time. You can't wait 15 games. You can't wait almost a quarter of the season. Cannot do it. No, Brian, New York, I think this is the first time we've seen him. No size on the top line. Is that not a concern? If the guys can skate really well, no. That's the way the modern NHL is. The fact is, with the exception of Barzal, I don't think we're a great skating line on the first one.
We're not a great skating line. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. First line. Not great skating line. Oh my God! The Montreal Canadiens beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3.
Who gives a shit, Grumpy?
I like to keep people informed.
I know you can't bear that they can't bear that they keep yourself glued off the phone.
Tommy Baffy says Islanders will finish third in the Metro. I don't think so.
That's a big ask, but I mean that's best case scenario. I think is third place. I think fourth place realistically is probably best case scenario. And we squeak into the playoffs.
Grumpy old man is younger than Chara. I act a lot younger than Chara does, but chronologically he's younger than I am. Brian NY says no one touches Barzal. He shouldn't have an enforcer with him. But shouldn't he have an enforcer with him? Not in today's NHL. It's not needed.
Brian P says, yeah, the Islanders re-sign these guys over and over. 76 years ago, the best fourth line. The Islanders think it's a badge of honor to have the best line. It's not.
I would like someone to say that, you know what? The Islanders have the best first line in the NHL.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be.
Rob G says, Lane won't be soft, in my opinion. Those guys are going to have to. They're going to have to work for their position. You're right, Grumpy.
And that's all you want from a coach is holding players accountable.
Frank says Parise skates well, though.
I don't think he's skating as well this year as he did last year.
Shooters Buck Hockey said, did you guys hear what Barzal said? He said we have to adapt to play fast hockey like Colorado and Carolina.
We don't have the roster to do that, though, unfortunately.
I'm going to try because somebody had sent me, I think, this earlier on, Grumpy. I'm going to try to pull up where it is, but Grumpy, here you go.
Nick D says, teacher, can you teach me? Can you tell me all I need to know? Teacher, can you reach me? Or will I fall when you let me go? It's
What
a
is that?
song. It's a song.
Okay, here it is. Shit, I got a whole bunch of this. I'm sorry. I've got a whole bunch of messages I haven't looked through. Drew L said, I got Jeremy Swayman in fantasy as well as Sorokin. That's a good spot. Doug R says, I just put $10 on the New York Islanders to win the cup. Only get 400 if they win. So it's not that great of a bet.
At least you're only going to lose $10.
Tommy B says, happy 50th anniversary to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I was about to say that's what it feels like. Episode 50 million. There it is.
We've not done that many episodes.
Mm-mm.
Drew L says, Grumpy, I didn't know you worked as the Indiana Packers mascot. TJ, search up the mascot's name. I don't know. Something tells me it will not be flattering. Oh, Pacers mascot, the Indiana Pacers. That's not going to be flattering either. I'm just saying. I don't expect a flattering portrayal. Anytime that you're viewed as hey, I didn't realize that you look like a mascot for a team, probably not anything good.
This is a weird looking. I'm not sure which mascot he wants you to pull up, the old one or the new one. They had like this weird Snoopy the dog looking son of a gun. I'll pop him up everything Grumpy, but I'm not sure if he's talking about the old mascot or the newer mascot. I'll let you discern what you think it is. So I think this is the older mascot here, Grumpy, and this is, I guess, the new one, Boomer. Oh, there it is, Boomer. That's why he's calling you that. Indiana Pacers Boomer. That's why you're the mascot, Grumpy.
Hey, let me tell you something. That girl's eyeballing that mascot. She's like, I like the cut of his jib.
I like the cut of his jib. My gosh. Oops. And what happened to Barzal Lee tandem? They wanted the mask off.
It only took 3.5 years before Barry Trotz realized it didn't work. What did it take us? What did it take us? One shift? Come on. So obvious it was never going to work.
Doug R said the over-under for the Islanders is 92.5 games. I'm leaning under. I saw it was 93.5, but maybe it's down.
That's not good enough to make the playoffs.
I was about to say, even at 94 points, I thought it was 93.5 earlier, but even at 94 points, that still doesn't make the playoffs.
Everybody had over 100 last year.
John V said, did Tuukka Rask retire? Yes, last year due to the torn hip labrum. D-Cut. Isn't this also the 50th anniversary of Grumpy's couch? Grumpy, how long have you had that couch? I know you said you're looking to get a new one.
Not 50 years, but I will be getting a new one soon.
I love the 50th anniversary video. Oh, that's why he's saying 50 all the time. That makes sense. Grumpy, don't complain. Just enjoy it. It's the only 50th anniversary you know. Oh, shit, Grumpy. He's saying that. Oh, that's a big sneeze. Good one, Grump. I'm going to be yelling Skate 38 special, you old man. Tuukka Rask retired. Rob G says, I think the Islanders have the best 1-2 punch. There it is.
In goaltending, maybe.
There it is. Yep. In goaltending. I'm going Saturday because I know they're going to get mauled to death by the Panthers.
Yeah. Slashed. And, I tell you what, Matthew Tkachuk's going to do marvelous things for them.
Rob G said, I think Sorokin's the best in the league. He just has to play. You'll see. I think he's really great. I think he's top 5.
Yeah, I don't know if he's best in the league, but I'd say he's probably top 5 when his game is on for certain.
Paul Mary's dad said, hello, boys. It's a shame my son bought a house on Long Island and that Don lackluster Lou had to sign my worthless son. My boy should have bought a house in Philadelphia or Montreal or Arizona. Why might you ask? Because he's a loser. Oh,
see, here's the thing. It's tough love from Palmieri's dad.
He grew up in a hard knocks. He was an old school, raised like an old school soul. Stephen S. Grumpy.
Speaking of mascots, did the Islanders bring back their infamous mascot named Niles? I hope not. It looked like Yosemite Sam, a knockoff of Yosemite Sam. Whenever they wear that reverse retro 2.0 fisherman's jersey this year. No.
Yes, as they brought back the mascot, that would make it even better. It would piss more people off.
Do they still have that Sparky?
Yeah, I think I still have Sparky the Dragon.
What the hell does that even mean? I'd rather have a fisherman come by and start, casting into there. Whatever.
You want to get the hook caught on your hair and your head and go and tear out some of your scalp?
Yeah, or have one of those little potato cannons that shoot out T-shirts or something, like in the shape of them.
Rob G says, TJ, guys will be benched this year. Watch.
I hope so.
Drew L says regarding how long it will take before people start wanting Barry Trotz back. I bet the under on 5 games that Islander fans will scream for Trotz to come back. Wow.
We'll see.
D-Cut.
Isles Misery Rated R will call for the return of Trotz as soon as the Islanders go down 1-0 tomorrow.
Maybe the Islanders are never going to lose a game, D-Cut. This entire year, the road to perfection.
All they have to do is trail.
Brian York says Martin and Johnston need to at least split time 50-50.
I don't even think either one of them should play a regular shift. I don't think Matt Martin should play at all. And I have no problem with Clutterbuck, Johnston, and Shushnikov rotating on those three, those three guys taking 2 wing spots. I don't have a problem with that.
Here's the thing, too. We don't have to be a team that's physically overpowering all the time. I know we've had that mindset where it's like, how can we survive if we're not having fighters and Matty Martin mixing up? We could be fine without them. I don't mind Ross. I still think Ross Johnston offers benefit and value to the team. I think he does have, I think he's got more value than Matt Martin at this stage, no doubt. CJ says, what's up, you mother effers? Stephen S. Grumpy.
True story about your mascot, Niles. One time, a kid kicked Niles in the groin. The guy in the suit got out of the costume, found the kid in the stands, and whispered in his ears, I know where you live.
No, that can't be a true story. Michael T saying, good evening, fellas. They need to bring back Score O for the 50th anniversary. Who remembers?
I don't remember that.
Are you being serious?
I'm serious. I don't remember that.
What is Score O?
It doesn't matter. Next. We got a lot of comments. Tej.
Who the hell's Tej?
That's you. Like say, Grump. Got a lot of comments, Grump. It's always got a lot of comments, Tej.
Yeah, we do have a lot of comments here, Grumpy. You know who I'm blaming for this?
There were a lot of comments today.
Blaming you, Grumpy.
Oh,
Tommy B says that that puck is a paperweight. Oh man,
I ain't spending no $100 on no paperweight.
That's about to say too. Maybe it was a 50. I'd do it, but D-Cut says Grump. It's Shack Chicken, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just call it a Shack burger. He looks like a guy who could eat a big ass burger.
McClure's Revenge says, one time I was at a coffee shop in Queens. Niles walked in hungover as hell. Bought everybody a latte.
Man, Niles.
CJ Grumpy.
They should make our home jerseys have orange with white outlined numbers. The white numbers with orange outline are so dull and plain. Ugh. Why can't we have orange with white outline numbers? They're tough to read. That's why.
And old people like you, Grumpy, whose eyes.
I'm telling you, as somebody who used to work, who used to call the games, the toughest team to call were the New Orleans Saints. They had the gold number, and they look great. Gold numbers with the white jerseys. Very, very difficult to read when you're trying to identify numbers.
It's just simply because your eyesight wasn't good enough.
It's tough. I mean, it's
it's
tough because the color, there's no diversity in the color, makes it really difficult.
You used to have those damn Coke bottle glasses when you were up there. You used to.
I used to use binoculars.
Binoculars.
I used binoculars. Absolutely, I use binoculars. You got to get it right. I mean, I realize it doesn't matter if you get anything right, but I mean, I always prided myself on being professional, and I got everything right.
You know, Grumpy, you may pride yourself on being right. I always pride myself about being on time. Something you need to take note from me on, Grumpy.
God, what a failure.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Grumpy, I wouldn't slam your head talking about marketing so much. The dementia could set in faster than you like. Take care of your brain, brother. All right.
Dude, you were slamming hell. You're going. I could hear that through the microphone. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. There's another year off of Grumpy's life. Says the Islanders,
for the record, have not yet announced their third jersey this season. What are they waiting for? Probably, I don't want to even say.
Frank K says, TJ, you can buy 2 Shack sandwiches for less than $50. I know, I'm just being sarcastic. But I tell you, you could buy 2 sandwiches and a beer, and I think you'd be near $50. 2 Shack sandwiches and a beer. Let's say you just got off of work, you didn't eat lunch. 2 Shack sandwiches and a beer probably is like $50. Scott L says they don't want to sell the golden puck, but they have no problem gouging you for food and drinks.
True.
And the Islanders marketing does suck, says Frank. JK says the Islanders Drive for 5 is operating on TJ time. We're still waiting since 1984.
Ooh. That's right.
JK throwing it around. I like it. I like it. Frank says, TJ, we're making the playoffs. Stephen S. Grumpy.
I can just imagine the Islanders fans saying, hello, anyone in there? Think, McFly, think. When someone in the marketing team doesn't sell an item like the golden puck at the concession stands or the pro shop.
Did you see the video of Michael J. Fox and the old guy? I can't remember his name.
Doc Brown?
Yeah, Doc Brown. Did you see the video of them? Like they went to Comic-Con. Man, Michael J. Fox is in bad shape, Grumpy.
Yeah, dude, he's got Parkinson's. He's had it forever.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you don't see him too much in the
There's
news.
a reason. There's a reason.
Oh, is there a reason for that? Okay, here's the thing. When he's out of sight, out of mind, you don't remember how bad off it, things are getting. I mean, Muhammad Ali's the next famous person, really famous person I can remember with Parkinson's. But like he definitely is getting, he's definitely getting impaired. Let me put you like that. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. I can't see. I don't like viewing things like that.
D-Cut says, get ready for Fredo and Brent Thompson next season. Oh God. Veritas Invicta, Grumpy.
It wasn't so much Trotz's system as it was his treatment of the young players. Would Barzal have signed long-term with Trotz still coaching? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Frank is laughing his ass off, a grumpy old man saying, how do you say that, Grumpy?
UBS.
There it is. Oh, man.
It's true.
Tommy B said, Martin, Cizikas, Shushnikov will be the fourth line come opening night. Absolutely.
Okay. There's no way Martin should be on the ice opening night. TJ, don't be negative, says Rob G.
Richard Lord says, FYI, just premium members received the Islanders Golden Puck.
Okay, see, there you go. We got
so there's difference between. Hold on. So the season tickets have different membership tiers.
Ask your friend Tommy Baffy.
Tommy Baffy, I need to know.
Who knows?
Paul Mary's dad said, things go right for us if Pajot and Cizikas get injured and Ratu gets called up, and also Johnston over Martin. Paul Mary's dad, that's a very odd thing for you to say.
Paul Mary's dad, he knows his hockey.
Oh, there it is. Tommy B says Bavillier knows underachieving. Yeah. I just hope Eaton picks it up, perhaps. Michael T. Grumpy.
I feel you have to break the season into 4 sets of 20 games and go by that. Look at the first 20, then 40, then 60. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Does this mean anything to you, Grumpy? Size, adjusting
fit. Size adjusting fit. I don't know what that means.
I was bidding on the Islanders season ticket membership, a members only jacket. It was pretty nice. Went for like $160. Oh man, I didn't know giving that jacket. Look at all this stuff to give out. All this swag. Islanders going to the playoffs. Atlanta up 1-0.
Got to win today.
Jacket drying. Your jacket is now dry. What the hell does this mean? I'm confused, CJ. Michael T says Matt Martin does have to be phased out this year. I think he's done.
You know how they should have phased him out? Not giving him a contract extension.
I agree. Frank says, well, when Palmieri scores 28 goals, Grumpy old man, you'll have to apologize.
Has he scored 28 goals recently?
Thomas B says, gents, is it possible for you to interview a hockey analytics blogger on both the Islanders as a team and individually? More and more teams using analytics as a primary tool and assessing talent. It could be interesting. Grumpy, wouldn't you? I would love. Yeah, I want to bring a guy on to talk about analytics. I think Grumpy would really get.
You can do that. I'll just take that day off.
No, Grumpy, I want to see your reaction. You fall asleep during some shows. That would be one that if I'm putting the over under of you falling asleep, it'd be very high.
Yeah, I'd be like, what? Oh, what? Huh? Yeah.
Tommy B said, I predict 25 goals and 70 to 75 points from Matt Barzal.
Well, I hope that's accurate. I hope it's like even more than that. Now let me look at Tommy Baffy's picture. Who is that? Who is he with?
That's Oliver Wahlstrom.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see it. You got to remember, it looks small for me.
You got a bigger screen than me. What the hell are you talking about? Get your freaking binoculars out, Grumpy, so you can go ahead and see the jerseys again, okay?
Just shut up.
Oh, man. Gosh.
Next comment, please.
Hey, believe it or not, Grumpy, I'm trying to get to the right comment, okay? Relax.
Next comment, please.
Read this one. The comment's up, Grump.
If Clutter and Cizikas are going to be out at the beginning, then sit Martin and put Ross and Shushnikov, or however you say it, on the fourth line to start.
Yes. Yes. 100% agree. Martin does not deserve a spot there. Scott L.
Grump, if Wally goes to BP, he'll be ruined by Thompson. The whole thing, he's got to play. He's got to play. He's got to play all the time. He needs, even if it's in Bridgeport, let him play him in every situation. It means that that piece of shit Holmstrom doesn't get big time minutes down there, whatever it takes. Ratu and Wallstrom, I would not mind seeing them playing down in Bridgeport for a year, bring them up together to form another line.
Oh, God. Michael T says, I agree with Grumpy about the Sacred Cows. They need to be phased out this season.
True.
Tommy B says, preseason hockey is meaningless. If that's your measuring stick on who belongs here, it does not work. I think for a team that is carrying a chip on their shoulder, a team that is in a position to where they have something to prove, I'm expecting the preseason to be a harbinger of the effort level we should see in the regular season. We have something to prove. We're playing to prove the haters wrong. Well, it's not like a light switch where you just turn it on and off. Okay, gotcha. Now we're going to play hard because the regular season's there. It's just not the case. And when we look at the preseason, I'm more saying, wow, we couldn't skate. I mean, the last game against the Rangers, I think we looked very competitive. I liked what I saw. But a lot of those games, I'm like, man, we look slow. We look old. And we're a team that, we're going to have more offensive, going to have more push on the offensive side of the puck. But, man, are we older.
Yeah.
Damn. Doug R said, I'm agreeing with the Grumpy Old Man a lot tonight. Sorry, TJ. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Got a comment here. Atlanta 3-0. Damn.
Forget that. That could change 100 times. Don't worry about that.
Here's the thing. As I'm siphoning through 15 comments, trying to scan them over, I just try to pop one thing up. Maybe you could talk about it for 5 seconds before I get to the next comment that I think is good to have up there, Grumpy. Michael T. Grump.
Losing Char and Green will make our transition game quicker, which should help offensively. We'll see.
Cut said the Devils are honoring him, Grump.
Islanders just put out a tribute video. Again, Green is also going to work for the Devils. Seems like he was working with the Devils when he playing for us.
CJ's got a comic.
I bet Lou loves and is obsessed with Jersey Shore. Yeah, I bet she's a big Snooki fan.
Michael T says the team needs to bond and form a chemistry. I think the team already has a very strong bond and they've got good chemistry. Michael Zuccarello, Grumpy.
The team went from hero to zero in 3 seasons. Really sad. They said it when they brought Lou in and he ruined the Leaves. Well, he couldn't have done that bad because they're still in the playoffs and us zeros. But they haven't won a playoff series. So
Brian MII says Dobson and Romanov's plus minus worries me.
Yeah, I'm worried about that pairing. Start the season anyway.
D-Cut says, TJ, 2 hours for a buzz cut? For you, it's more like 2 seconds.
Done.
Goon Grumpy.
Buckaroos. What can Bailey do differently to make you admire him greatly again? First of all, I've never admired him. So
if he plays well on the third line and just kind of is like an unsung hero, I'd be fine with that.
And gives half his salary back, 3/4 of it actually.
He renegotiates his contract and takes less money because that happens all the time in the NHL.
Yeah. Say, I don't deserve this money. I've been stealing. You talk about the fish guy. Josh Bailey's been stealing money for years from the Islanders fan base.
Gonna bring up litigation against him.
That's right.
Rob G says Bailey is a hell of a passer.
He's an okay passer. We can try. CJ says we can try Mayfield and Romanov and Dobson and Salo. It could be worth a shot. No, absolutely not. Those are no.
Brian J says, if the Islanders don't make the playoffs, TJ and Grumpy shave your heads. No, I don't want to shave my head, Brian. I'd say the likelihood of that is much higher because they're like, what do you imagine yourself with no hair or something?
I'm almost there anyway.
That's not going to do much for you then.
No, it won't. Doesn't matter too much.
Oh, Grumpy. Grumpy.
Sounds like if you shave your head, it's too much trouble. You got to damn shave it every day. No, it's not happening. Sorry. Michael T says Romanov will take time to gel with the team as well as Salo, but Salo should have more of an idea, unlike Romanov. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. D-Cut says you don't have to ask Brock to be our first line center. He is our first line center. Oh, no, he's not.
Brian York says Pelican Dobson.
Yes.
Explain really quickly as to why you think that way, Grumpy.
I think they're the two best defensemen on the team. They should get the max minutes. Pelican be the rock defensively. Noah Dobson be the guy who rushes up the ice, generating the attack. And he knows he's going to have someone back there to cover his back. That's what it should be.
Time B says you're still in your prime at 30. I'm not sure. I think you're kind of you're getting to the spot where the likelihood of you continuing to improve your game is not there, but it's the likelihood of your game taking steps backwards much higher at 30 than steps forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Frank says Salo looked great. He is and will be the real deal.
There's still going to be bumps in his game.
Mario, Grumpy.
Pajot had a career year in his walk year, and he suckered Lamoriello into that contract. Have you considered the fact that Pajot last season returned to what he was before his walk year?
That's very true too. But I was just a little surprised with the effort level. I'm not.
I wonder if he was still banged up, some injury that we didn't know about, because he just didn't seem like he wasn't the same skater and hard charger he's always been.
Jeremy Ford said, in fairness to Pajot, I'd like to see him have some consistency with his wingers instead of having a revolving door. I'd be fine with Pajot, Bellows, and Bailey getting a chance.
Jeremy's going to get his wish.
D-Cut, Grumpy.
Casper Holmstrom will be part of Frank Kaplan's band in a few years.
Doug R. says the worst thing is if we just mint it out of the playoffs and get the 15th overall pick.
That's true. That's true.
D-Cut says, Grumpy, TJ smiles while you talk when he gets a message from Phil's Facts.
There you go. And there's a little snoozy and a yawning face. Very good, D-Cut.
Grumpy, another comment for you.
Joel says, excuses for Islanders losses. The freaking home trip. Islanders just need a change of scenery for a little bit. Well, let's find out. I just think it's imperative we get off to a good start, though. Tommy Baffert says, how does Grumpy Old Man feel about Giselle sacking Tom? I thank God that Tom is dropping that harpy, Giselle. Tommy, you said you were going to quit the football game. I never really liked it. I liked when they showed me on TV and I could go, oh, look, I am a former runway model. But now you do look at the size of my hands, Tommy. They're bigger than yours.
D-Cut says, run it back. It never works, TJ says. The Islanders win 4 straight cups with 16 players on all cup teams. Yeah, there was no free agency at that time frame. So you could keep every player. And if you drafted well, great. How many teams were in the league when they won 4 straight cups?
21.
With more teams in the league, with free agency. And here's the thing, too. Not taking anything away from those cups. 40 years ago, the amount of effort and how much the sport has changed in 40 years is significant.
Every sport, the whole sport,
the entire, I was about to say, all sports in general have changed so much in the last, would you say, 40 years, definitely, even the last 20 years.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers ran it back. They had all the same guys from the Super Bowl year, and they lost.
Yeah.
It's too hard because you can't, the guys aren't as hungry as the year before. A lot of things. You're the hunted team. You have to be supremely talented. And
how many Hall of Famers were on that team too for the Islanders, Grumpy?
A lot. Not as many as you think. What, 4 or 5? 5
okay, so 5 Hall of Fame caliber players.
Yeah.
5 Hall of Famers. The Islanders don't have one. You can't run it back.
Yeah. Well, you get to be in the Hall of Fame when you
win a lot of cups. Obviously, that helps. Goon got a comment for you, Grumpy.
How the heck is it possible that out of the Mets, Jets, and Islanders, the Jets seem to have all of a sudden the best team set for the future? Is there a crack in the universe? It's a little early to say that.
Shit. Grumpy going to be the bearer of bad news.
Little early.
L says, TJ Boychuk is still with the team. He's just a player developmental coach now. Frank's got a comment for you, Grumpy.
I can't get over losing Taves. Lou has said Trotz fought hard to keep Letty over Taves. If that wasn't enough of a sign that his best days had passed him by, well, there you go.
Nick D. Grumpy.
Bring in Andy Francis. He brings in the flair and the fire. TJ, you still here? Oh, shit.
Brian New York says Islanders needed 13 points on the 13-game road trip to start last year. We were 5-2-2 after 9, and then shit the bed. Wow.
I didn't. Okay.
We're that good to start. Hold on. And people bitch about that freaking. I really hadn't thought too much about what the record was on the road.
It's because the whole thing was bullshit. That's why.
You
The whole thing.
you drink around for
They
it.
made up excuses why we were no good, instead of just saying the facts were we didn't play well enough because our team got old.
I guess we couldn't. People complain, oh, we had so many starts and stops. That's why we couldn't get momentum. 5-2-2, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needed 1 point after that. Stephen S. says, hey, my boy Cale McCarr is now assistant captain. Let's go.
Interesting. You all know who was also a captain now? Nick Suzuki.
There it is. And Grumpy.
Young guys. Montreal passed the torch today, and it was epic. Wish the team can come up with something as creative as that.
What's up, Woodda Films? What's up, Sean Woodda? Said, hello, Grumpy TJ, and my friends of the show. How you doing there, Woodda? Goon, Grumpy.
The Mets never recovered from Keith Hernandez's shoulder injury this year. He's struggling up in the box.
Oh, man. Let's hope for a big start tomorrow, says Woodda Films. Absolutely. And then Michael T, Grumpy.
Scrooge is a very underrated Christmas movie. Yeah, it's not the greatest Christmas movie ever, but there were some good spots in there for certain. And Bill Murray was great. The Damn Odd Couple. Come on, TJ.
Sorry, what can I say? My Little Brownie says Toronto, Montreal are putting on a good show. Goals are seconds apart. There it is.
Beautiful.
Who doesn't love that? Michael T, Grumpy.
The Odd Couple with Klugman and Randall. I grew up on that show. Oscar was a slob and a new sports reporter. True. And Tony Randall was a photographer. I think he was a photographer and a neat freak.
Goon, Grumpy.
Goon says, Grumpy, WBAB played the exact same acts that they did back in 1982. Pat Benatar, Boston, Zeppelin, etc. Yeah, man. They were good.
Drew L says, well, Phil Sachs just said that Matt Murray blows. It's making me feel good that I stashed Samsonov in fantasy.
All right. Got a lot of goalies on that team, Drew.
Grumpy, another comment here for you.
But Mike, Oscar was cooler. Joke, grumpy old man, but Felix, a.k.a. TJ. Oh, so you're Felix, TJ. We're needed and a part of the show. So you're Felix the neat freak. That's hilarious.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Felix never would have ate moldy ass cheese. I got to guarantee you that.
So I'm Oscar then.
There was one where I think it was in the movie where they Oscar took a plate of spaghetti and threw it up against the wall and just says, "Don't you clean it up?" That's TJ. He never would have. First of all, TJ would have eaten that shit off the wall.
And then we got one there. What a film saying, I'm going blind. Forgive my messed up comments. Positive thinking boys, Bailey and all. I hope you're going blind with Islanders faith, not blind in real life there, Woulda. Oh my God. I'm seeing all these WDRE and WLIR.
WLIR was a good station.
WAPP.
Yeah.
Gosh, a lot of these. Z100.
Z100. The Zoo.
Z Morning Zoo.
Mark Scott Shannon. Yeah. Stephen S. says, I cannot tell you how happy I am as a Predators fan to see Cal McCarr have a Stanley Cup added to his resume. Absolutely deserved. The best D-man in the NHL today outside of Josie and Fox.
Roman Josi is the best defenseman. He got robbed. He got robbed at the freaking doors. What a film's saying, Grumpy.
TJ has books behind him. I think that is false advertising. Ooh.
You saying I don't read or something? What?
Maybe they're just book spines.
Yeah, that's it. They're just
Howard Stern killed off the Z Morning Zoo. Yes, he did.
Got a comment here as well. Drew L. Grumpy.
I never understood why mukbang videos got popular, unless if you're watching Nico Avocado.
Nico Avocado.
Okay. At least that dude at least had one meme-worthy clip of the video. Don't
so
put
he's a guy who went from
I don't care. I don't care. Nonsense.
Here's something you probably don't care about. Christopher C. Grumpy.
Muck is the evolution of Grimer, Grumpy. Questions about Pokemon, ask me. Okay.
Grumpy's well. I like all these. Give Grumpy more items he has no freaking idea about.
I read them like yeah. Okay.
Like, what language am I speaking?
Toronto choking right and left. They wound up losing. Closing seconds.
I'm being yep.
Murray sucks.
Yep. Nice moves, Toronto.
I send Varlamov there. I don't care. You don't want to go there? Tough shit. We'll wave your ass. That's not a mukbang video, TJ. A mukbang video. Why are we talking about mukbang videos? Where they just
prediction. Islanders 4, Florida 3 in overtime. Mr. 9 million scores the winner.
Mr. 9.15 million.
9 million just has a different ring to it. Brian New York says, when the Islanders win the cup, the parade should be in the Coliseum parking lot.
Yeah, if they allowed them to do it. Why not?
Oh, man. Goon says Grumpy runs a tight ship when he's in charge on the comments. A lot of ground got covered.
Very true.
Oh, man. Tony Cheese, Grumpy.
Mukbang videos suck. Next.
Hold on. I can read the comment.
TJ should make a mukbang video of him eating ramen, hot sauce, and hot dogs meal. It's disgusting. It's like an animal. It's like a dog. A starving dog. You just throw shit on the floor and that's TJ. Millennials are easily distracted.
Oh, man, I tell you. Goon, Grumpy.
How is it that people who win the hot dog eating tournaments and mukbang videos are not fat? Well, some of them are.
Yeah, like Booker. Man, that guy's a big bastard. He just pounds that food. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Tony Cheese says, TJ with the heavy flow. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
And TJ with the hot dog mukbang. Certified glizzy packer. Oh, God almighty. Jesus. Stephen S. Grumpy.
Is it not a dragon logo? I swear that it's a dragon, not a horse. I'm going to have to do some researching tonight. I thought it was a horse. The old San Diego Chargers.
Mascot, or what is this?
They had I think in the olden days they had the Chargers, but I think it was like with a horse. I don't think it was a dragon. I'm going way back. Way back. Back.
How far back we going?
I don't know. Like in the 60s. Well, and it was never on their helmet. It was never on their helmet. Ever.
I'm seeing a lot of these. Oh man, these are old ones. It looks like a horse.
Yeah.
1961. Yeah, it's a horse. Or actually I don't freaking know. Looks like a horse dragon. I don't know. Hold on a second.
A horse dragon. Maybe
I can kind of see either which way. I'm not sure. It's 19. It says the one for 1961.
Maybe it's a seahorse.
It could be. I don't know. That's a good way to settle it. Seahorse.
Yeah. Let's see what this is.
No,
that's a horse. It's a horse. It's not a freaking dragon.
You think it's I think it's a dragon, maybe.
Not a dragon. It's a freaking horse.
His eyes like I don't know, Grump.
It's a horse. You see the ear and the little mane in the back. It's a horse.
Apex Legends single season, Grumpy.
First of all, dragons were not super popular back there.
Okay. Grump.
Who do the Rangers trade to get Patrick Kane? Man, he'd make them really, really good.
I think so.
You know who looked good last night? Lafreniere looked good last night.
I know. People shit all over him.
Like I said, he was young. Give him a shot. He's looking really good right now. D-Cut says, as usual, TJ bypassing intelligent comments from members of Isles Misery Rated R and read all the comments from his little bootlicking buddies. Very true, D-Cut. That's why I kind of take over. Michael T said, I wonder if Barzal is kind of pushing the phasing out of the older guys and saying that the team has to adapt and play with Colorado and Carolina. No, not at all. Here's the thing. He realizes that the modern NHL, that's the way the game is being played. That's the way the game is being officiated. It's what the league wants.
How can you attract new faces and top-tier talent if you don't play what is synonymous around the league?
And one thing I liked about their draft this year is they drafted players who kind of fit that mold. We don't have enough of them, but it's going to be a transition. It just is.
Declan Grumpy.
I can't begin to tell you how happy I am the Leafs lost. Left my ass off. 824 save percentage. Not very good.
Not at all.
Yeah.
What a film saying, I'm really curious about Pavilier. He could be a difference maker for the Islanders. He didn't have he had a nondescript preseason. He's got to really pick things up if he wants to do it for the Islanders.
He's the line driver of the Lee Nelson Pavilier line.
Michael T says, wait, Barzal, not on the top line? No, he's the top line guy. Absolutely he is.
Yeah.
And
at the end of the day, his line will get he'll get the most ice time.
Frank saying, yeah, he would so be due for a breakout year. And actually, I'm like with Lee and Brock Nelson for now anyway.
They need somebody to drive that line. Period.
Okay. Here we go. Robert C. Grumpy.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's a long season. Have faith in Lou. His final season in our 50th anniversary season. He can't mess up. Barzy will get his gunslinger at wing before, oh my God, the season ends. No.
Goon, Grumpy.
Tonight, should I be discreet about going to sleep?
Oh, no. Good night, Goon. Frank says exactly. Not put some stupid made-up mascot. WTF Islanders.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather have the Ice Girl. Everybody always has this cult fascination with the Ice Girls.
They were hot as hell. That's what you want is some girls in tight look. What do you think they're there for? They're there because they wear tight uniforms, they can skate, they look good, and they shovel ice. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Michael T says score 0 was in between periods.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. The fan participation, shooting the puck through the tiny hole. Yeah, from center ice. Yes.
Okay. Apex Legends has another comment there for you, Grumpy.
DeFore is dominating the AHL. Good. He should be.
They haven't even played an AHL. Is today the first AHL game?
I'm not
sure.
I don't know.
Michael T saying his name was Norman. He was a regular season ticket holder in the stands, and he was always wore the Gillies jersey from the OGs.
There you go.
What is saying? Yeah, the Ice Girls in Dallas. They have cheerleaders all over the arena. They know how to sell tickets.
Yeah. I don't know why they got rid of them. It was just ridiculous. Stupid. Just stupid.
Rob G says Barzal will have a breakout year this year.
I just want him to change the spelling and break, because it sounds like he's trying to slam on the brakes. I want a different type of brakes. I mean, he might have to break his skating to fit with the two old guys on his wings, but I hope not. Good news, guys. Boston beat Washington. Good start so far, and Toronto lost to the Habs in the last minute. Good game going on between LA and San Diego.
Brandon Gaines says,
I swear if the fans start chanting for Trotz to come back, if this team has an understandable slow 5-game start, I'm going to scream.
Michael T says here, so we think Dobson has surpassed Pulak in our defensive depth?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's close.
D-cut, Grumpy.
If I ever fought TJ, I would kick him in the nuts quickly, fight over. No such thing as fighting fair once you get past 40 years old. Yeah, it's true.
That'd be fine. What films there?
You forgot. Here's the thing. You don't know this, D-cut, because you have not always been a fan of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show. TJ has an arch enemy in the MMA world, which is Ronda Rousey. He says he'd kill Ronda Rousey. I said, man, she'd take you out.
When I was in peak shape, absolutely, I could. Okay, got him.
Dude, she's a professional fighter. She's a professional fighter, and you're like a blocking sled.
Yeah. Okay. What a film's, Grumpy.
TJ, you may as well shave it. Baldness is on its way. Or if they make the playoffs, throw on a wig.
Oh wow. Josh Bailey and the cul-de-sac clan. Oh my God.
That's it.
Frank says just offensively, Dobson is not as good as Pulak.
I think he's better than Pulak.
I love when the grumpy old man does Giselle's voice.
Tell me.
Yeah, there you go.
She's a man, baby.
Scott L. Grumpy.
Grump is gonna have to fight the rest of the male Patriots fans on who marries Panda Boy Brady next. Let me tell you something. he's going to have his pick of the litter. I'm just going to tell you that.
Drew
And I
L
bet she's
says,
going to be younger. I bet she's going to be younger.
Drew L says, I got to tell you, Bobby Bonilla and Matt Rule are living their best lives right now. Sheesh, hard work pays off, even if you get fired, people.
Especially if you get fired.
And there it is. What if Films also got a comment?
Because we love Bailey so much, I'm going to point out his biggest weakness. He can't make quick decisions.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of weaknesses. It's tough to pigeonhole the biggest one.
My Little Brownie says, why would you want to see goals seconds apart? Doesn't it mean defensive breakdowns all over the place? The NHL loves it, but I hate bad defense.
Yeah, but the NHL absolutely loves high-scoring games. People watch. They don't want to watch 1-0 games. Why soccer never catches on in the United States. Not enough scoring. I'm not saying not enough skill, because there's certainly great skill, but more scoring, more eyeballs on TV.
I don't know what the heck this is.
Probably
says,
a comment.
Are you? Yeah, no shit. Grumpy says, or Drew L says, Grumpy, are you trying to be the next Hokage?
I don't even know what that is. It's
I couldn't tell you.
probably one of those silly things that you know about. Mookie's, Eaton's, whatever's. I don't know.
No, that's nothing I've ever seen. Gark 2541 says, I had
as much a range of fans already tell me that they look good this year. It's just one game. Shake my head. True. They did look good though. Man, if the Rangers are good, holy crap. Thomas A says, hey, Grump and TJ.
He says, hey, Grump and TJ.
I can't find the alternate fisherman jersey. Has it been revealed yet? Or was that all just hype and hot air?
Hype and hot air right now. It has not been released just quite yet, but I'm sure when it comes out, probably be tomorrow. Maybe come out on Friday, something like that. Who knows? When paycheck come around, who the hell knows? Drew L says, Palmieri's eyebrows are like the equivalent of
me beast planting 20 million trees for 20 million subscribers.
Oh, Mr. Beast planting 20 million. You don't even know what that means, do you?
I don't even. It says me beast.
Mr. Beast. That's who that's meant to be.
Okay.
Here it is, Grumpy. Let's read that too.
I'll never forget when Mary of Little House on the Prairie woke up blind. It scared the shit out of me. Remember that, Grumpy? Surgery is in my cards. I will be fine. Well, thank goodness I do remember that. And that girl had pretty ass eyes too. If you ever saw TJ, you never seen Little House on the Prairie.
No.
But it was a very popular TV show on NBC on Monday nights I think it was like in the late 70s and in the 80s. Michael Landon was the director and star. He did that right after Bonanza and just before Highway to Heaven, and then he passed away after that.
Thomas Amadeo, Grumpy.
Leafs won't end winning anything with Pajama Boy on the team. Karma's a bitch, and the Leafs brass were in it on the entire circus act. The goaltending is going to be an issue. Goaltending is going to be an issue for them.
Yeah.
We all love both these guys. It's still fun to make fun of your friends. And TJ, LOL, I'm just kidding. Great show, guys.
Thank you so much. Frank says, hit the thumbs up. That's right. Hit thumbs up. What a film said, good call. Thumbs up there. And here we go, too, guys. Just a reminder, no show this Saturday. We'll be again this next Wednesday. D-Cut says, on a serious note, please, please, please don't let Lou trade picks or prospect to shed salary in the next few off seasons.
Yep.
Just let these awful contracts run out at a time.
2 years. It's only 2 years left, and they'll all, well, except for Lee, but there's only 2 years left, and then you can cook with grease. Start drafting. Start now. Move what you can. Reload. Wait till the contracts expire. I mean, it's going to be a transition, but you want to transition to the next phase.
Paulo C says there are too many defensemen in the league that I'd rather have for the next 10 years. And there's not too many defensemen in the league I'd rather have for the next 2 years than Dobson. There it is. Wants to have Dobson there. D-Cut Grumpy says, join Al's Misery Rated R if you haven't already. There it is. Grump, man, we're here at the end of the show today. What do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I'm so glad that I handled a lot of comments today. Makes them go a lot faster and a lot more clarity.
We'll just do them where we do like I read one, you read one. I think it was quicker that way too.
And I just want to say, love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the show. We'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, let's go Islanders. We're going to have some Islanders regular season hockey on our hands.
Pumped.
With you guys soon. We're pumped. We're ants. We're amped. It's going to be a great time. Let's go Islanders. Thank you again, Grumpy.
My pleasure.